Let me get him over here. Whoop. Why does it do that? We're here. Let me get Chris over here. He's somewhere. We were going to try to do that game if we can get it going. um, so, which means there's some logistics involved. Still don't know. I don't know no devils. You do, and you know the voodoo that you could have had done did too, or whatever your phrase was. Maybe you know the devil that you don't know that you know, but I bet you know the devils that you know. Knowing you, you might know a little bit more devils than even I do. What was I going to say? Oh, if we do the game, I have to use two monitors, so I have to change my monitor settings, and it's going to change where StreamYard is and how I look at the camera and all that. So I have to figure that out too. So we'll wait for him to show up before I even try to get involved in that. But we may have the game for you tonight, and if we don't, we can do the script reading too. And if not, I'm sure I have some things in my toolbox. I was watching this trailer. Neo Jack, you might have heard of it. There's this new stupid little cartoon out called Has Been Hotel, and it's about hell and demons, and it showed up on my feed as a conservative show, like it's a show that has conservative themes, and I can't really make sense of it. I think maybe it's like this satanic organization running behind the scenes or something, but I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to like it. It looked like it was made for like the Powder Puff Girls crowd, that level of cartoon. So I didn't last very long. I'm not a cartoon person. If they're too like, even as a kid, I was like this. I'm like, what level of me are they trying to talk to? Are they trying to teach me something serious, like talk to the adult part of me, or why are they trying to talk to the little kid part of me? What am I supposed to take from that? And like Bugs Bunny, or even this show I'm talking about, they had like the cartoon eyes that would bug out, and the exaggerated expressions, like the demon went to grab, like steal something, and they did the evil grin and their eyes go sideways, and that's so exaggerated for it. I find it more distracting than anything else. Just, if you're going to steal the thing, just steal it. You don't have to do this big cartoon hee grimace. And so stuff like that throws me off of cartoons, because there's too much of a disparity between that and reality. And even as a kid, that bugged me. And so this cartoon had a lot of that, and it kept me from being able to get into it. It was about Lilith. Like, instead of Adam and Eve, there's Adam and Lilith, and it's her daughter, and she's trying to either save the world or save hell. Don't go by me, because I watched it, seconds of it, with a very distracted and probably biased brain, and it's all jumbled up in there now. Hell of a Boss. Let's see. A little more better. Okay, yeah. I did like the demon show. They like worked in office cubicles. It was a comedy. What was that called? Your Pretty Face Belongs in Hell, maybe. That was fun. And that's the dad. Like, when I'm talking about a hot satanic daddy, that was they had a real daddy, Satan, in there. Let's see, what was it called? Hell of a Boss. Lib, we might play that demon game tonight if you're up for it, or even read Chris's script. We need some boobs, or at least somebody that can play boobs. Okay, so when I Google it, is it related to Has Been Hotel? When I Google it, it looks identical. Has Been Hotel is what comes up. Is it the same people? I wish they'd make some cool satanic or hell movies that weren't so didn't seem so childish to me. There's so much potential. They had another one like a couple of years ago. It was again, I think it was like Satan's daughter, and it was supposed to be real edgy and punk. She was like Daria, and I hated it. I really wanted to like it. I'm like, good, a cartoon that has the potential to represent some positive satanic values, and I just couldn't. It was bad. And also, I feel the same way about video games. I don't want to say pander, but they have to communicate to target, capture as much of the younger demographic, as much of their demographic as possible. It's the younger kids, so they have to. It can't be too highbrow and sophisticated. They have to speak to the most simple mainstream part of you, and I think that's the part that I just don't connect. That it loses me at. In Hell, Imp Blitzo runs an assassin business targeting the world of the living. Ooh, demons that kill people. Moxie, Millie, and Luna. Oh yeah, it is the same person. This Vivian Madrano guy, and it also seemed very feminist. I don't know if she's feminist, but it seemed like it might have had like the characters were female, the heroes or heroines. Luna B. Bay. God is gay. Looking beautiful. Who is that? Who I think it is? Hey, TW. Let's check you out. Oh no, but hello to you as well. I thought you were another guy that I. Wow. Yeah. Well, welcome. Um. Oh, so anyway. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing like 5 things at once. Let's see. Don't know. Don't care. Makes funny shit. Luna is she her own cartoon or is she part of this hell of a boss thing? I'm so out of touch with my cartoons. Hell of a boss. Okay, it's a whole ass show on YouTube. All right, I'll have to check it out. That might be fun. And then the game we're supposed to play today is called Dokapon Kingdom, and it looks like Pokemonish. But supposedly there's demons that come out, like actual demons that come out and sit on your shoulder and tempt you to betray your friends. And it sounds really like my cup of tea. So I'm excited to try that out. Or to read the script, or to do both. I sent Chris the link. I think he's playing around with the game, trying to get it to work. So at some point, she's one of the assassins. Oh, so the assassins have different personalities, and they go out and kill the living. Yeah, there's so much like there always has been, like ever since Dante and Milton, and before that you had Odysseus and the Greeks exploiting the underworld. Like it's fertile aesthetic ground for the imagination, but there's so much potential like in the world today, I think, to have some good hell or satanic oriented either sitcoms, comedy. In fact, during COVID, I had this idea for a satanic sitcom that just came to me, and it was gonna be like Friends, but it was a group of Satanists instead, and they hung out in this like underground sex club instead of a coffee shop. And the comedy was going to be like edgy and modern and today, and really push the boundaries instead of the Friend stuff, which was more like middle class and safe. But then I forgot I didn't write any of it down, and I forgot all of it. And but yeah, like more comedies, but also like not necessarily dramas. I think a drama in hell would be kind of corny. It's hard to pull off because it's such a fantastical setting. It's hard to pull off drama in that setting. But satire, um, comedy, dark comedy, irony, um, mockumentaries. I would love to see a mockumentary of hell. You could do a mockumentary of this little group of teenage Satanists that summon a demon somehow and get pulled into hell, and it follows their journey and their transformation. Like they could each have a character arc and end up facing and overcoming their darkest self. There's so much. I guess I'm just trying to find a place for Satanists in the world. I think there's so much potential for us in the arts, in the mental health fields, and education, just everywhere. You need that little touch of the devil to keep things. Who wants a boring world where we all wear white and play harps? Is great. Yeah, I hear good things about Always Sunny. I've seen clips. I didn't really follow it or get into it, but the clips I've seen have been funny. Community is another one I hear things about. And you can come up if you want, Liv. I still don't know what the plan is. I'm waiting on Chris. So, in the meantime, Parks and I tried to watch Parks and Rec. It was okay. That curse movie that Chris and I watched it wasn't haha funny, and it wasn't laugh out loud funny. In fact, I'm not even sure it was a comedy, although the ending was hilarious, but in a tragic way. But it was a mental comedy. Like intellectually, I was thinking in my mind the whole way, like, that was funny. That thing that she just said was really, really,
Hey,
or
you're
that
cutting out
it
really
happened was funny. Hey,
hang on. I think my internet might be
uh-oh.
being wacky. Can you say something?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Ouch.
Hello, hello.
Okay, let me try and leave and
We
come
can hear
back.
you. We can hear you. You just can't hear us. All right, here's the man. What's up? Oh, okay. Remote play. So let me see. Is this going to open up Steam if I click this? Because I'll have to switch my monitor.
I can't hear anything. I gotta turn my headphones off.
Okay. Let's get all our tech problems solved because Lib's having them too.
Hello.
Hi.
I can hear.
You hear
I can hear. Yes. Right. I think it's because I left Netflix open in the other window on accident.
Oh, God, I hate technology.
Yeah, it's just hard. Well, the problem is I'm not the only one on the internet right now. Like, my girlfriend's playing a multiplayer game. I'm pretty sure someone else is.
So like the bandwidth is being eaten up.
Yeah. So I just needed to get off Netflix. But yeah, no, I love Parks and Rec. I can never remember his name. The libertarian guy though, it's just the best. I love him so much. He's like
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson, that's his name.
Yeah.
He's like the Steelman satirization of a libertarian, and it's actually
in a way that makes you kind of like if all libertarians could be like Ron Swanson, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
you know,
like actually like Ron Swanson, not just like
most of the libertarians I meet tend to be cool. What's wrong with?
Ron Swanson's just extra cool.
Yeah, in real life, I can honestly say that it's like a 75-25 split on cool and not cool libertarians. The coolest libertarian. No, 75 not cool. The ones who are cool tend to be like sort of like libertarian by default. Like they're not very like politically active or anything. They're just kind of like, I just want the government to leave me alone, and that's it. And that's like their libertarianism kind of broadly. It's not like a informed ideological. It's more of like a emergent
You think it's from experiences?
Humanist.
I'm wondering how someone grows up in our modern society with the idea that you're entitled to have the government leave you alone. How does that emerge from today's modern society where the government is so much an essential part of our lives? Literally from birth, with all of the documentation that we need from birth.
A lot of it comes from, I mean, again, a lot of these people I'm talking about are from Tennessee, and
Oh,
if you want to look at a government that is simultaneously too intrusive and also not intrusive enough, look at Tennessee, because like things like sales taxes are they're not the
Yeah, you know,
worst, but they could be better.
the more I've learned about Tennessee politics, the more I think it's absolutely hilarious that Crystal Ball, of all people, tried to run for Senate there. I
Oh my
think it's
god.
just like I mean, and like so I actually used to have respect for her for a little while back whenever she and Sagar were doing Rising,
Oh, I
and
mean,
and she still managed to like come across as someone who would actually consider the other side's opinion. But now that they're on their own,
really?
Sagar clearly became her lapdog, and she is just like
Did he? Oh
frothing.
my god.
She's just frothing at the mouth Marxist now, and it's just
Um,
she's okay. She's not as bad as Brianna Joy Gray. Brianna Joy
well,
Gray is angry to the point of being nonsensical most of
but
the
like
time. But
Brianna Jorge is like a tanky, or she's like, or not a
yeah,
tanky. She's like a campist. She's like just like anti-America is her only political stance
yeah.
now.
what's that called?
Campist.
Campus?
Yeah, campist. Campist.
Although I'm not,
Oh,
I have to
campus.
admit, I'm not sure how much of it they're playing up for ratings because I know the first couple of times they had real blowouts, you could tell it was genuine. But here lately, it seems like they're doing it kind of a. It seems like they might be following a script now, even though I think Robbie is much less happy about it than Brianna. Brianna seems to relish the drama part of it, and Robbie just seems like he's like just quietly seething and hating his life. Um, it's kind of entertaining to watch in kind of a reality TV show kind of context. It doesn't make good news anymore, but it makes really good it's like I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen two people in any news thing like be so openly like genuinely hostile seeming towards each other, not like in like the Fox News or CNN like talking heads
Mhm.
way, like where they're just yelling and screaming, but where like they look at each other with contempt.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
there's this palpable
admittedly,
contempt.
I've never seen Brianna Joy Gray's like her content. I have seen her on other people's content, and I have seen like, I mean, I don't know, her Twitter, and like I've seen clips and stuff, but um, I don't,
Well,
I just don't really have
you're
any desire to watch her shit.
right before the pandemic hit and everything, and things were like already on the downswing in my life and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I kind of I fell into like watching I fell into watching like internet news
Mhm.
stuff, and I was watching lefties and righties and everybody. But I found Rising was the one. Rising with it when it was Crystal and Sagar was the one show that was fairly like where Sagar was. He was conservative, but he was staunchly a conservative, but he was reasonable, and she was staunchly liberal, but they were reasonable, and they had to have
Mhm.
conversations. The conversations were actually kind of interesting to hear, like their different viewpoints.
I
And
think
then
Sagar was civil. I don't think Sagar was necessarily reasonable.
I think he was back. He was back then. I mean, really, he was back then.
Oh, right, okay. I've only seen, admittedly, a choice selection of the Sagar and Crystal stuff from back when
I
they were
mean,
doing the Rising.
these days he just lays down. He just lays down in her lap and just whimpers like a puppy dog. He doesn't even like try to fight back anymore. So
See,
How nerdy? Hang on. How nerdy? How spurgy? And how long is this going to get? And are we going to play the game tonight?
oh yeah, I'm done. I mean,
I'm done.
Lib, I put a link. I put a link in the private chat there. Do you have Steam open? If you or can you try click that link and see if it works?
Chris, if I click that link, is it going to open Steam? Because I'm going to have to switch my monitors.
I honestly don't know because I've never tried before.
Okay.
I've never tried this.
Just to be safe, let me do that.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Admittedly, I'm probably not going to be alone here long. I'm actually about
That's
to
okay.
probably go to sleep.
This
I'm gonna
is
go
more of a
to bed.
test. This is just a test
Okay.
to see if it works.
Yeah, and it should work.
Well,
It
we do
shows
want to
you
recruit.
showed up.
We're recruiting for 2 more players. If
Yeah.
anyone out there does want to join us,
You
I'm
showed
gonna
up
make
right away.
Yeah, my screen's still on the loading thing. So we'll
You're
see.
you're probably I'm probably going to have to share my screen on StreamYard, and we're all going to play off my screen. Is where I'm thinking it's going to
So
work.
one we don't need our own screen. Like we can all see the same screen.
Yeah, that's how it should work.
Okay.
Because it's
So then,
remote
do
play.
I
It's
need to
not.
open Steam at all, or can I just join from the browser?
You can just join from the browser. I think. I don't think you have
Yeah.
to do anything.
Uh,
Oh,
it did admittedly prompt me to open Steam, but
but you could not open it and it would still let you into the game.
maybe I don't know. Hang on, let me.
That's
I think in hang on. First time playing has invited you. I think if you click on the game or something, it'll like the link. It should. Oh no, yeah. There's a join game button on the browser, so that should probably just force open Steam for you
the app itself or through the browser.
through the browser. The browser should open the app for you.
That's what I'm saying. If it opens the app at all, I have to switch monitors. So if there's a chance the app is going to be opened, I need to make sure I have my monitor switched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I would switch your monitor because I don't know if it's gonna.
Because like my D&D game. Oh, never mind. That's through Roll20, not Steam.
Yeah,
It just plays it in the browser. We don't have to open an app.
Yeah. That's because that's Roll20 is a virtual tabletop. That's their whole thing.
Let me get all my windows moved over.
We don't have to play it right now. I just wanted to see if we could get to work.
Well, no. Well, why would we do that and not play it?
We can play it, but Lip said he couldn't stay long. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta do some stuff in the morning, and then I might actually stream before your stream tomorrow morning. So might play some Firewatch.
Come on, like I don't know.
I'm seeing.
No passcode. Okay,
yeah,
I guess I set a passcode by accident at 00000. I didn't mean to, but I don't know how to unset it. I'm not familiar with the controls here.
Go
on the keyboard. It's asking me to hit a start button that I don't have.
The start button's over next to settings complete on the right.
Can I just click on it? Let me see. No, it won't let me click on it.
Huh, that's weird. Go.
This is an old Wii game. They translated. They very shoddily translated it into a Steam game. So like
Is it a Wii game? I thought it was a PlayStation 2 game.
It was that too, but
okay,
I think this is based on the Wii version.
Fucking every game under the sun has a PlayStation 2 version.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm trying to just set it like. Okay, there we go. No, not. And then
all right, I'm having my own frustrations. My StreamYard window got minimized really small, and it's stuck up at the top of my screen, and I can't drag it back down to do anything with it. I don't know what the fuck to do. Is there a way to... Am I going to have to close StreamYard just to get my window back? That seems ridiculous.
What you
the other day when I tried this, I pressed the space bar, and space bar worked as the
start button.
Yeah, it worked as the start button, and now it's not working now.
What is this? Does escape just bring up the main menu?
Escape just says, "Do you want to quit the game?"
Oh, that's irritating. Is there? Hang on, let me Google. Oh, we lost Jeff.
It's okay. I'll be back.
I'm gonna Google. What is this called? Dokapon Kingdom. Dokapon Kingdom Steam keyboard controls. There we go. Controls. Here we go. Under a wiki. Here we go. Game controls. All right. That's the in game. I fucking hate fandom.wiki. So many fucking pop-ups. Oh wow, this game does actually look really fun. Holy shit.
Oh, it really is. I mean, trust me, it's a ton of fun. It's just like it's so cutesy. It's so cutesy looking, but it's so evil. It's like the cutest evil looking.
Here's how to Alt Tab without pausing. Game stop running.
Can I just? I'm just trying to figure if I can change my, if I can just change my controls to. regular
How
make it-
long is this
make
going to
control.
take? Seriously, because I don't want
Okay, we don't have to do
an
this. We don't have to do
hour
this right
of
now.
tech stuff on the stream with all the viewers. Like we're already down to 2 viewers. We had 14.
Okay. Well, let's stop then. Let's stop.
If you want to share my screen, I'll play some Firewatch for like 45 minutes.
Well, I still want to do this game. I just don't want to spend an hour teching out over it. I just want to get it up and running and do it. And
I know that's why I was trying to test it out before we started, but like, it's okay. Like we'll
well, we
test it
didn't
out
have
tomorrow.
time because I had the stream already set up.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's not your fault.
it's just timing. But I still think we could do it if we focus on just getting the game up.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to figure out if I could just get like the settings complete thing done, then it would be fine. That's all I have to do. But like for some reason, it won't let me choose settings. It won't let me choose my control interface as my controller instead of like the keyboard. And like if I could just do that,
Well,
then we'd
can
be
you
fine.
just use the keyboard?
The keyboard, but there's no. But it wants a start button. I don't have a start button on my keyboard.
See, this is why I hate this kind of shit, because it takes
Me
like
too.
hours and hours and hours before you can even have the fun. It's frustrating for somebody with my brain.
It's frustrating for someone with my brain too. This is like pissing me
I
off.
don't enjoy it at all. Oh my god! I just want it to work like a board game. You can take it out of the box, learn the rules, and then just play. It just works.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, forget it. We'll focus on this on some other time. Controller settings. Like there are controller settings. No controller connected. There's no controller connected.
I don't want to do it. Why do we have to do it some other time? We had planned to do it tonight, and my brain was ready for it. I got excited for it. I got in game, learn new game mode, and then somehow the stream started, and it went down 20 different rabbit holes, and none of that happened. And now it's like, well, let's just do it another day.
Okay, I'm going to restart the game now that I have it set with my controller set. It has to restart so that it recognizes the controller.
On the.
Is Jeff roboting for anyone else?
No, he's not for me.
Okay, because it's weird because Chris isn't roboting, but Jeff is roboting for me.
Chris, I got an expired invitation. It won't let me.
Yeah, I'm not because I killed restarted Steam. I'm doing it again.
Oh,
because I had to get it where it was like
Sorry, folks. This is not very interesting. We'll try to. They can't do tech and entertainment at the same time, and neither can I. So, you either geek out on this stuff or just check back in a few minutes.
You guys can just talk. I mean, if there's anybody out there, just feel free to talk.
Chris, please focus on what you have to do to get this game going. My frustration level is running at max right now. The technology does that.
I'm working on it. Okay, so
we don't have any viewers anyway. We have one off of YouTube.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason, Jeff is like really roboting for me. So I'm probably. Oh my God! I can see Jeff. He's moving on his thing.
Oh, you mean I was visually roboting?
Yeah, well, visually and audibly. Like
Okay,
it was like pausing.
I didn't get the low bar signal.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't either.
Here's one guest link. Try that. Anybody try it. Doesn't matter who. And I'll also try to invite another one after if that one works.
Yeah, I'm opening Steam right now.
Okay, cool.
It is loading. Hey. Oh, it's actually press A or E. Oh.
It says invitation expired.
What?
Oh yeah, because he already clicked on it.
Yeah.
I'll get you another one.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'll get you another one. I was doing one at a time, so I didn't confuse things. Okay, cool. So yeah, this actually should work. Then I think I set up a 3-player game.
Yep.
Okay. And then I can go back here and I can hit invite a guest again, and then I'll give you the link this time, Jeff. This is your link.
Ooh, also,
and you clicked on that.
So the game is pausing every time you tab off. So I actually figured out if you change it to windowed, if you change the game to windowed, then it shouldn't pause it when you tab off.
I'm in windowed already.
Really? Okay, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
This game just might be fucky wucky then. Just a fucky wucky little port.
All right, it is opening the game. This could take a while.
It probably won't. Probably just take a hot second.
Well, I know on all the other games it tries to load up. It takes forever. One game took like half a day to load.
What game?
Uh,
I think was it Gloomhaven?
Oh, that's because it's Gloomhaven. I've played Gloomhaven. That thing fucking takes forever to like download, load. It's honestly, it takes about as long as the board game, which is not a positive because that board game takes fucking forever. Oh, now the screen's super zoomed in.
What screen? Where are you?
I'm just looking at the game.
I'm still waiting for my Steam to open. Where is it? It said it was updating it.
Oh, that's probably because
it disappeared.
Oh, that's a weird Steam thing. Did you have Steam open already?
No, the invitation opened it, and it had to update and all that other stuff. And in the process, okay, here it comes.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, I know my computer, Steam alone takes like 10 or 15 minutes to open and load. It's really slow. That's why I have to use both monitors. It takes up an entire monitor of its own. It's very resource heavy.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, because like for me, Steam is like a pretty low resource thing. What's big? Ooh, I heard a sound from the game. The bigger thing for me is like the games, because like some of the games I have, oh my god, they're just insufferable to open, and it's just like I don't see them anymore.
I see the game, but it has this window on top of it that's gray with a question mark and some.
Yeah. That's because
it's not moving. It's not leaving. Oh, yeah, that's on his side.
Yeah, that's because Chris is tabbed out of the game.
So no, I'm tabbed into the game right now.
You're tabbed into the game. That's weird. What the fuck is this thing then? I assumed that was just like a thing that appears when you tab out of this game, but I guess not. Huh.
Well, but you said we might not even need to see it on our screen.
I think we need to like select things. Oh, I have a different screen now. I don't know what's going on with it. Technical difficulties. Oh man, now I went back to the. I'm like zoomed in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see
all right,
Z.
I can't even get to my other screen now. This is so frustrating. I got to get out of here.
All right,
I'm closing out Steam. Look, Chris, we're gonna do this another day.
Yeah, it's no problem.
We do hate.
In fact, I might close the stream. I am not in a good place right now. This is so. My frustration is so high right now.
I hear you. I
need to do some self-care.
I badly injured my hand earlier working on the car, so I don't know if I can finish. And it was actually going well, and I'm not sure I can finish putting the car back together now because my hand.
That's what I was worried about from the start. I think you misassessed and misevaluated, which is common, and took on more than you had the capacity for. And I was worried about this.
Did you try and fix your car yourself?
Yeah.
Yes.
From watching a YouTube video, a very complex.
I mean, it can work,
and it was actually
it's very easy to. I know how easy we can rationalize this stuff.
Yeah.
It was actually working. It's just that I just fucked up. Just while I was just putting I was putting it back together, and everything was going really well, and everything was starting to come together, and it started to look like the car again. And then I was using the drill to put some bolts in, and I lost control of the drill and hurt my arm, and I cracked my windshield too. So it's not the big video. You can see
Yeah.
through it. It's not like
Yeah.
I mean, it's yes, the windshield's gonna be replaced someday, but I'm not worried about that right now.
That was,
But
I think,
yeah,
that was
but
probably your first mistake. Never use a drill in a car to put on bolts.
Yeah, that's probably true. But it was night. It was
Yeah.
dark, and I was going
Yeah.
by headlamp only, and I was trying to
Oh yeah, no,
trying to go quickly, and
Yeah.
so I fucked it up.
Yeah. No. That's not an indictment of you. I've also done the same thing, and I've also majorly fucked up. I've like stripped stuff out or something like that. Yeah, it's just
But I don't know, since I did most of the work, that everybody kept quoting me the same price. I'm just closing out Duck Pond Kingdom now. Everyone kept quoting me the same price of $1,400 to do it. So since I did the part, I bought the part, I did all the hardest part of the work, and all that's left is just like literally just to reassemble the dashboard now, which I was actually despite my doubts in myself yesterday, I was actually very confident I was going to get it done. I mean, I wasn't going to get all done tonight, but I was like, everything was going really smoothly. I was using the guide backwards, and I was figuring out where everything went, and everything was fitting just right, and everything was going well. And then I fucked myself up, and now I'm like, okay, great. I don't know. I'm gonna call some mechanics tomorrow. Since we have AAA, I can get the car towed to anywhere in 5 miles from here. So I'm gonna see if like I can find a mechanic that will simply. There's actually a Toyota dealership not too far up the road from us, so I'm gonna see if maybe the Toyota dealership might help me just like put the car back together. For maybe half the price of the regular thing. So
yeah, I was gonna say Toyota dealership might be actually your best bet. I've found that. I mean, call it there first and like double check, but I have found that Toyota dealerships, the mechanics there tend to be like very very chill about like that kind of stuff. I've had similar things.
It's a dealership that we actually bought our old Prius from before and stuff like that. They were always really cool to us there. So I'm gonna call and ask them and see what they would say. I don't know even then how I'll get the money to pay for that, but I'd rather
have it as an option.
I'd rather get it towed up there and then try to figure out how to get the money to pay them to get it out of the mechanic shop later at this point, because like I mean I don't think I can do it now. I sliced my hand open and I hurt my arm, and it really hurts. And I'm just so I understand how you feel, Jeff. I'm also not.
I see this. I know this is the ADHD tax. I'm not saying that people without ADHD couldn't have two, but our chances are statistically increased. And I the potential for ADD to impact a project like this. I said you can go on the stream and look a week or two ago, me saying my concerns about taking on this project.
And you were, and I didn't say you were wrong then, and I don't think you're wrong now. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I didn't do it out of pride. I didn't do it because I was like.
It doesn't matter why you did it. I'm just saying I could see the likely outcome of your attempt to do it at all, because I know how to factor in things like ADHD in taking on this kind of projects.
Absolutely. You're 100% right. You're not even like a little bit wrong. I'm not even suggesting that that now you don't know me, Jeff. You don't know what I can do. I'm not saying anything like that. Like I mean I'm saying you were not just probably.
And right another reason I knew I could call it is because I know your pattern, and this is just part of a larger pattern that's been pretty consistent. So it's not even just this one car that I was using to determine that. Well, I know our brain. I just know us.
I guess I got a little cocky because I fixed all those computers, and I was feeling
we rationalize things to ourselves. That's part of the not having that like reference point to critique our version of what we think we can do in the moment when we're all hyped up on dopamine, and like and I tried to be that checkpoint, or I tried to get you to use the community to help be that, and I could tell you were just running with your ideas wild, and I saw some of this.
I mean, I don't know, like using YouTube videos to do something on your car, especially something not too terribly invasive, isn't like the worst idea. Just it's always
Lib, if you only knew. Yeah, that's not what this was.
Oh, was it several steps of several YouTube videos?
And he
Because
used
that's usually
it was
where.
a giant. It wasn't a little like minor little
I sent
invasion.
I sent
It was
I
a
sent
major.
I sent Jeff a picture earlier of what it looked like. That's with it halfway back together.
And he used faulty sources that had incomplete information, and until he was involved in the project, he didn't even really know that. So he didn't even have a way to determine which sources. He just like
Yeah.
saw some videos and started working, and
outside
I've seen
of
it-
out,
I've
outside of
seen this so
rebuilding
many
the
times.
basically outside of rebuilding the engine outside of rebuilding the engine in this car, this is probably the most difficult thing to do in the car.
I see. I see. I mean, you got it part of the way done, which kudos.
No,
It's
I know. I'm actually proud of myself. Okay,
Yeah.
I will. I say I'm actually proud of myself. I got it, even though I had a lot of low points where I was like, I'm never gonna get this done, kind of thing.
Yes.
And
That's everything on a car, though.
I actually got it. I got all the way. I got the part replaced. I got all the main connectors reconnected. I got it halfway. I got the interior dashboard halfway reassembled. I got the structure back in place, and I got the wiring harness I got all the plugs connected, and everything like that. That's whenever and I can't do the rest of it because it just requires like a lot of brute force strength and stuff. Like it just requires a lot of like lifting and stuff that I can't do now. But I mean, like, I'm proud. If I hadn't fucked up and injured myself, and I was working on it at night because it's so hot during the day.
Yeah.
It's so hot. Like every time I try to work on it during the day, I'm guzzling
If
water.
working at night contributed to it, would you have injured yourself less if it was during the day?
I don't know. Probably not. I mean,
I'm just trying to figure. Is there an intelligent way to work, and were you rationalizing poor choices, or was this just a fluke accident, and you really did maximize your chances?
It really was a fluke accident. It was an accident that could have happened to me anytime, because I already showed you like the bruise I had on my arm before, and that was from basically the same thing. I'm just.
But I do notice also, and maybe it's the vertigo. You are very accident prone.
I am very accident
prone. Normal person.
I am very accident prone, and I didn't.
And so knowing that, to take on tasks that involve the potential for accidents.
And it's supposed to be a job that's supposed to be a 2-person job anyway. You're supposed to have a second person there to help.
All of that's the concept I'm talking about. All of that was just poor choices. Just a chain of poor choices.
Yeah. I take full responsibility for that. I take full responsibility.
But is there anything that could have helped you make better choices, or in the future keeps you from falling into this pattern?
Well, I will never attempt
because from someone from
my car again.
From the side watching, it's hard to watch someone constantly self-sabotage and not know how to help them.
Admittedly, I will say that especially if you're dealing with anything car related, having it's basically anything you want to have.
Okay, well that takes this incident off, but there's others I could bring in, so I don't want to get too caught up on the car itself. I'm just trying to address a larger pattern I've noticed with Chris that I think still applies, car or not, of rationalizing poor decisions that make sense in the moment but have more long-term risks that are not getting assessed.
I have found, for me at least, that just broadly with like projects that I work on, having a second person be at least semi-involved, at the very least, just so you have a second brain working on it, right? Like worst case scenario, you have someone to bounce ideas off of, and then like they can help workshop bad ideas. Like I have been talked out of so many stupid ways of doing things, just by even just talk, like someone who wasn't even actively helping me. I was just talking to them about it, that to me is usually like the biggest thing. Like I'm about to change the oil in my car, which honestly, I don't need a second pair of hands. It's super fucking easy.
But you've done it before.
Yeah, no, I've done it before.
I can change.
Well, that you know what you're doing. You're not taking on something.
Yeah, I can change my oil. I can change my oil. I can change spark plugs. I can change the oil. I can do all those basic maintenance things.
But like I'm saying even on something as basic as changing my oil, I am still gonna, like, my girlfriend's still gonna help me, because it's better to have 2 people working on it than just one person. If like you're not like a because like I'm not a professional, right? Like I barely know how to do things in cars.
Yeah.
So it's, I always try to do this when I'm like working on like big projects. Even in like low scale like crafting projects, which have,
I mean, honestly, with with how much oil costs, like to get like a a
Walmart
five.
used to do it for like $20.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's actually
now,
change your filters and everything.
now it's a lot more expensive.
Wow.
no, not around here.
Really?
Around here, it's about $27 to
Oh
get
yeah,
a
that's not bad.
It
It was
full
like the
synthetic oil change for my
works.
car. Only cost, so like if it was like for an oil change, I could do it myself, but I would take it to Walmart so they have them do it. But basically, this all started because like I went to this Meineke, and the Meineke told they found they told me they fixed it this one day. They told me they fixed the issue and everything was fine. And I paid them their money, and when I had this is like when I had just a little bit of money left from the tax refund, and I paid them the money to get that fixed. And as I was driving home, the air started blowing hot again, so I took it back the next day, and they were like, "Oh no, it's the evaporator," which is this is the part that's like it's literally the only way to access this to completely disassemble the dashboard and the entire interior front of the car, and you have to like do all this stuff and take this entire like heating core part out, and then you have to disassemble that, and then take it's this tiny little radiator thing, and you do all this stuff, and it took a long time to do all that. But the thing is that they told me that the guy at the dealership, he fucking lied to me, and he said like, well, if you get the part, I'll get it fixed for you for $400. And I was like, all right, I'll do that. So I went and bought the part, which was like $200.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I can afford. This is how much money I have left.
Yeah.
And I took it back, and he's like, "Oh, we were wrong. This isn't this. We can't do this for $400."
That's not a lie. Mechanics misestimate all the time. Like,
but the difference between 4 and 14.
He didn't say like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell this person 400," and then watch him come back and laugh when I tell him, "Ha ha, I lied. It was 1,500."
He still gave me an estimate and refused to honor it. So. And then I didn't really have, and then like I didn't really have much of a choice.
You said, "Well, you told me 400."
I fought it. I even took it all the way up to Meineke's corporate office and like and talked to corporate people.
Because they must have Meineke is a national company. They must have a policy on people who get one estimate and then end up being told it's another. I'm sure they've dealt with this 1,000 times before you. Yeah. So what did they say?
They said that they would speak to the manager of the Meineke and get back to me. They never did, and I tried to contact them back. I followed up several times, and I never get a hold of anyone again.
Did you go over their head?
I tried.
Part of this I do notice is advocacy, like knowing how to advocate. And
I really did. I fought for my position.
I didn't know you were doing that. If you ever need to advocate, come talk to me. I used to do it professionally. I know all the tricks. Like another thing is it seemed like you don't take help easily, and I'm kind of the same way. It's really hard for me to take it too.
All neurodivergence. Fucking.
I tried to help you. Some of us on here tried to help you. Things like when you advocate, I don't mind like helping you strategize, come up with a plan, role play, practice, run through scenarios, etc. Like this community can be of help of all of that. If you're gonna make these risky decisions, at least mitigate it with some support, like Lib was saying. But you make risky decisions and you try to take all the world on your shoulders at the same time, all by yourself. That combination, long term, to me, is not sustainable.
Admittedly, that's something that I had to learn like the hard way. I had to learn by fucking up a bunch before I even.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
That is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And the fucking up when you have a wife and kid and you're living on the edge of precarity is different than fucking up when you have the luxury to fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing you're saying is incorrect. I'm not disagreeing with you or arguing one bit of this. I 100% agree with what you're saying. I will say, like I said, I am proud of myself for getting as far as I did. I got really far for not having any real know-how or anything, and I really am confident that if I hadn't have hurt myself like this tonight, I think I would have gotten it done. It would probably take me like 2 more days, but I would have gotten it all back together and it would have been fine. But in the now with my arm and hand hurting like this, I can't do it. So I
Yeah.
don't have much choice. But like I said, like I think because I got far enough, hopefully like one of these places will be like yeah, you know, because like all the parts and everything I've done a very good job. I've organized them all. I've kept all of the screws for different parts and different ziplocs and everything, like, and labeled them and kept everything very organized and very neat, and like, you know, so all the mechanic would have to do is just like literally just like, you know, these are the screws that go to this, these screws that go to this, you know, and everything's very
Yeah.
simple. And so I don't think that they would have I don't think it would be more than maybe 2 hours of labor for them to do, because
We'll
it's just
try
like
it and see what they say, and
Yeah.
talk to Steve too, and see if he has ideas.
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm planning on doing. I just it was frustrating just because I'm mostly frustrated now because like before tonight I was actually getting in this. I was actually kind of like God, I'm never gonna get this done. I'm just gonna, like, you know,
Yeah.
let my family down kind of thing. And then I was like as I was going full force tonight, and I was like, I'm actually getting it done. I'm doing it. I got the structure back in and everything. I got it all, like, the main dash structure part, which is like was one of the hardest parts to actually get out. I got it back in and got it all fastened, and everything was like, and I got all the modules and everything like all back where they're supposed to go. And I was really happy. I was like, fine, I can actually do this. And then I fucked it up and cracked my windshield too. And so now I'm like hurting and this, and I'm just like, I feel like a complete failure right now, you know. But no.
Do you want to
Yeah.
do your script? Do you want to read some of your script?
So I can feel like more of a failure. I'm just kidding.
No,
Hey,
just to switch your mind onto something
no, it was a
totally.
joke, man. It was a joke. That was a joke.
Okay.
We can. I don't know. Is there anybody watching at all?
Yeah, we got 17 people on Twitter.
Oh wow, on Twitter.
Or we could save it where we have more of a YouTube audience. We only have one on YouTube, probably Liv. So.
Yeah. Actually, do you want to? I'll stay up for a little bit. We want to watch someone else's life as a dumpster fire in Firewatch, because that's what the beginning of the game is. A guy, his life falls apart, and that's why he goes and takes on this job.
Do you want to stream it from your channel?
I don't
And
have to. I can stream it from here.
Oh, you mean just share your screen?
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. It's just a single player game, so there shouldn't be any like technical issues.
Okay.
Shouldn't be many technical issues, if any.
How
And
long is it?
we can still talk. We still talk while it's going on, right?
Oh, it's yeah. I mean, it's a super long game, but we can just like start it.
No,
We
I
can
don't want to.
start. No. I'm saying we can start it.
How long is it something we're all playing together? Or we're just
No.
watching.
You just be watching me play it.
But we can still talk and stuff.
It's yeah. And in fact, actually, there's lots of sort of like quiet parts within the game that are really good for it. I've watched streams of it too, and that's actually like.
I don't know. That's why I wonder if it would be better on your stream or Chris, because you've been streaming some games lately too, Chris.
I don't have that game, but yeah, I played it back when I played it. I didn't play it on Steam. I played a high seas version of it. So
Yeah,
I don't have currently.
yeah.
I have to read
I originally played it on my Xbox, and then I got it on Steam because it's just such a good game. Like
I couldn't get past. I think the whole like part with the guy's life falling apart at the beginning of it. If I'm not mistaken, it was a game I tried starting playing back when my life was actually already falling apart.
yeah.
And I think my reaction to it was quite negative because wasn't like anything against the game. It was just like
Yeah.
I was just like the kind of the same thing as like the very first time I tried to play The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh
The
yeah.
first for The Last of Us was shortly after Juniper was born, and
Yeah.
and I
That's
could
got that's got to
not
be. Ooh yeah.
I
No, that's got
could
to
not
be.
deal with that
Ooh
opening,
yeah.
dude.
No,
I
that
couldn't
opening.
do it. I was like fuck this game. Fuck
I
this
have
game.
I have only ever played like the first like 3 hours of Last of Us, but I mean honestly, like it fucked me up. honestly, kind of emotionally.
Way worse than the TV show. The TV show doesn't not do that scene service
Yeah,
in
it's
terms of
weird
like.
how good some things are in video games as opposed to like
I
shows and
know, and like
movies. Yeah.
that seemed like something that would have been so easy to make to be like make it
Better,
more
but
effective as a movie, but it just
I,
I don't know. I didn't really. Plus, there's just like the. I mean, in a movie it sounds weird, but it's just like I didn't think the actress they chose to play his daughter was like was very good.
mm-hmm,
It wasn't that it had nothing to do with. I know everyone's complaining, oh, she was black and so like I didn't give a shit about that, but like I mean, but she just didn't. She wasn't. She was too old. She
mm,
was too old. You know, it hurt a lot more in the
yeah,
video game because she's more like 7 or
yeah,
something like
she's
that.
yeah,
And they made her like more like a teenager and stuff like that. And it just like I don't.
mm,
And that seems silly. Like you would feel less bad about it for being a teenager, but it took the sting out of it a lot more for
yeah.
some reason.
It definitely in the video game she definitely feels a lot more helpless, and you definitely feel a lot more, I guess, like protective because she's like
Hmm.
literally a tiny child, um, and that kind of I think for me kind of hit harder. I feel.
Plus, in the video game, her character she's such a sweet, innocent little girl, and they gave her
Mhm.
kind of an attitude and like the same problem I have with Ellie in the series for that matter. I didn't like the girl they chose to play Ellie either. I felt like they lost the wide-eyed innocence that Ellie had in the game. The Ellie from the game was like her transformation into something more, into
Mhm.
something more darker. It felt a lot more. It felt a lot deeper whenever she didn't start out already kind of cynical and dickish. She's kind of the
Yeah.
dick in the game in the show. And like I mean, the show is not bad. It's a good adaptation of a video
I
game, but
haven't
it's
seen it, so I can't.
What's the show called?
Last
The
of Us.
Last of Us.
Oh.
Same as the
It's the,
game.
it's the same. It's the same guy. It's the same guy that the director's the same guy that made that Chernobyl series that everyone says is really good, but I've not seen
Oh,
that
but
in a while.
Chernobyl's amazing. I fucking love Chernobyl.
Yeah.
You should watch that. That's good. That's a really good
I've heard it's
series.
very good. It's my block with that has been just the fact that I don't find Chernobyl very interesting, but I know that it's more than that. I know that
Yeah.
it's a good series, but
Yeah.
I just don't find like I don't know. I find biopic kind of stuff like historically based biopic stuff tends to be kind of stiff and
Oh, okay. That's.
like Oppenheimer. Like I watched Oppenheimer
Oh, I haven't
and
seen
like
Oppenheimer, so.
if you never do, I think you're gonna be just fine.
I mean, I guess like my thing is like those like biopics, those like historical dramas and stuff like that. That is my shit. Like I gobble that stuff up like it's fucking candy.
Whenever they're done really well, I do, but like for the most part, like a lot of the ones that they've done in recent years, I just like I don't know, I just haven't like I'm trying to think of like there was that one about Stephen Hawking. There's that one.
I
I can't
thought I
remember what it's
like that
called.
one. The history of the history of everything, or
Something like that.
the theory of everything. Theory of everything.
Yeah,
That's the one.
but
I like that one.
I didn't care for it at all. I didn't like the one about the code breaker guy, the
Oh,
Enigma.
Alan Turing,
Yeah, I
the
didn't like
imitation game. I thought that one
Imitation
was
Game.
fantastic.
I wanted to like it so much because I was really I think code breaking is really fucking interesting, and I think like the whole thing, but like the movie itself just fell flat for me. I don't know.
And they've got Benedict Cumberbatch as the
Yeah,
as
and
the main
maybe that's
character.
part of it because I just don't like him very much. But
Really, I'd love him. I think he's a
I
great
like
actor.
him as Doctor Strange. Weirdly enough,
I do too, actually. Like I am so fucking over like superhero movies, and
uh-huh.
I loved him as Doctor Strange. Like
Hmm.
it was a breath of fresh air. Not enough to make me go and like watch all the new Marvel stuff, but it was definitely a breath of fresh air for the Marvel stuff for me.
I liked mostly not so much in his own movies, but whenever he was a supporting character in like in the Avengers
Mm,
movies, I really liked him as in it. And I also played that Marvel Midnight Suns game, and like they made his character really interesting in that too. Um, that's a really good game, by the way. If you like kind of turn-based strategy, like things kind of like similar to XCOM, but it's more like there's a lot of character stuff in it. I think it's really really cheap right now. It's
maybe.
totally worth totally worth playing.
Zooms down to my 420 hours of playtime in the first XCOM game.
Oh God,
I think
down.
I think I liked XCOM.
It's the same people.
Yeah,
Fire Access.
that's nothing compared to my playtime in Total War Empire, which is 1074.
Damn.
Um, but that's since,
The highest hour count I have on anything is Elden Ring, and that's like 250 hours.
admittedly, this I've had Total War Empire since I was 16, so over a decade of playing it.
At one point, and this is kind of embarrassing, but I was really into Borderlands for a while, so I probably had
Oh, I
I probably had a pretty high number on Borderlands 2 and 3.
something
But
embarrassing. Borderlands is a great game. Like
I don't know. I don't know. I like it is and it isn't. Like
yeah,
it's like
it's a
it's kind of cheap in a way, like because if you find the right
oh,
weapon, you don't ever need to get another weapon. You know, like if
I
you find,
mean, yeah, like that's true, but I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I like Borderlands 2 more, but that might
yeah,
just be I played
I
Borderlands
actually
2 first.
I prefer the first one over the rest of them actually. Because like the first one
Yeah.
had there's the thing that's cool about the first one is that before they added all those stupid like perks that were specific to only the manufacturers,
Hmm.
which I think was a huge mistake because like then you could like get like because weapons would be really random, so you could get like a
Yeah.
green weapon like later in the game that
Hmm.
could like disseminate enemies. You could
Yeah.
just like but you can't do that. And like literally like the way they did that perk system in like the 2 and 3, like it
Hmm.
makes like Hyperion sniper rifles are useless because they always burst fire and they always have terrible
Ooh,
recoil.
ugh. I don't really like burst fire weapons in most games. Most games, burst fire weapons just they don't do it for me.
No. It was the Hyperion perk is like the more you shoot, the more accurate it gets. That's what it is. And so
Oh,
like but that's terrible for a sniper rifle. You want one
oh,
shot.
oh, it's a sniper. Oh, oh, ugh.
So
Yeah,
like
that's
they did stuff like that and like so it made certain weapons from certain manufacturers completely worthless and like they just like they're just like
yeah,
they're waste of space even if they're legendaries they're just like
yeah.
not even good. But
Yeah.
yeah
I always found that weird in like single player games when developers like do that. Like honestly, even in like Helldivers, right? Like Helldivers 2 is a multiplayer, but it's PvE, so it's not like competitive or anything. And yet
mhm.
like a solid like third of the weapons are just pointless. Like you shouldn't even bring them. Like the they're like just actively bad. And I don't really understand why. Like it's like, but this it's not like people are going to complain about like oppressive weapons. Like it just means they're going to get to kill more shit faster.
They're not.
What?
They're not going to complain about oppressive weapons if given the opportunity.
I
I
not
don't
in
believe that.
oh, I mean not in like a PvE game. Like the thing is this Helldivers is a player versus the environment, not player versus player. So like if if players have access to like
It depends on how you play it, I guess. Some people seem to play it as a
I'm
PvP.
sorry I asked. Y'all carry on with your conversation.
yeah, no, some
I
yeah,
only
there's
got
a
it
little
for free. I got it for
yeah.
free because like I didn't even know that the PlayStation Stars thing earned like
Mhm.
points that you could trade for games.
Yeah.
I'd earned a whole bunch of these PlayStation Stars things that I didn't even
Mhm.
know I'd earned, and I had enough to get Helldivers for free. And
Mhm.
I was like everyone's talking about it, I'll try it out,
Yeah.
And
Super fun
I
game.
played it for a couple hours and it was
Yeah.
okay, but like I mean not knowing anybody or anything, it was just
Yeah.
kind of like it was like a lot of waiting in lobbies and like and stuff like that and then like
Yeah.
by the time I'd actually get down to the planet then like the mission was half over and like I don't know.
Oh yeah,
So
it is definitely a lot better to play with friends. Which actually, by the way, hit me up. Anytime if you're on Helldivers, hit me up. I
yeah.
might try and get on with you because it is a amazingly fun game that a lot of fun shit can happen in. Like there's a little tooltip tab in the loading screen, which is friendly fire isn't. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so and like
Well,
it's friendly fire happens all the time in that game, and it's perfectly fine. It's acceptable. It's fun.
yeah, like I was playing one mission where like everybody else was lagging way behind and like
Hmm.
I managed to get to the checkpoint and I cleared the checkpoint out and I killed all the bad guys and everything and got everything
Hmm.
ready and got the ship come down and I was like I was just waiting for everybody else to get there and I got on the ship whenever they all got there and then like one of the guys just like shot me in the ship and killed me.
Mm. You do find some people like that. Unfortunately, I've run into those people, but thankfully, like the Helldivers community is large enough that people like that are a rarity. I've only run into like one or two, and I've played like almost 100 hours of Helldivers.
Yeah.
So there are some people, and also I have found sometimes like lower level, especially if they don't understand. I was playing with, I dropped in on this lower level guy, and I picked up like a shitload of samples, and when we were about to get on the ship to leave, he shot me and then picked up the samples and then walked on. And the thing is, I think people just like, there's a lot of things people don't understand about the game, and that's why they do shitty things. Like for instance, samples. If you extract with like 10 samples, everyone gets the 10 samples. Like everyone gets the number of samples that get extracted. You don't extract with your samples and take yours. It's everyone gets the rewards for the mission.
But if you don't get extracted, then you don't get anything. So
Well, no, you do get stuff. You just don't get samples. The only thing you don't get if you don't extract is samples. Actually, there's a weird like strat for like leveling up really fast, which is completing the mission and then failing to extract. So you complete the mission, but you fail to extract, and you can do that really quickly. And you can like just burn through a bunch of missions really fast and get a bunch of XP and requisition points. But then you just don't get any samples, which is one of the sort of like pieces of currency that you need to spend to like upgrade your ship and stuff. So it's not really like using that strat isn't actually a good idea because you need samples, and like that's where I'm running into the bottleneck. Like requisition slips, the like currency, I guess, the currency in the game. I'm maxed out. I have the max number, and I've had it for like a week now because I don't have anything more to spend it on because I've bought everything.
Damn, dude.
I mean,
You
it's not hard.
Game.
Not really even. I'm only like level 40. The max level is 150. I'm only like level 44. And the only thing I don't have is the ship upgrades because those take samples, and samples are harder to grind for.
Well, you know what I have on my PS3? I have Helldivers 1.
Oh God, I've heard that it is a very fun game.
So
I've heard a lot of fun things.
So maybe I'll stream some Helldivers 1 just since Helldivers 2. So
do y'all want to start a stream? What, either one of you?
I don't know.
I mean, I know I'm probably about to go to sleep. It's midnight, so I'm probably. But
well, we can wind this one up then.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch Adaptation or something, Jeff? Are you sleepy?
That's a possibility. Let me play it by ear.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, y'all have a good night.
Good okay. Night,
you too, later.
Take care.
You well.
Do you want to keep the stream going, or should we end it?
We can keep the stream going. I just don't know. I don't know if there's. It doesn't seem like there's anybody in the chat or anything. So.
Yeah, they're all on Twitter tonight. We have one watching from YouTube. Hi, who our mystery audience.
We had like I noticed like everyone was on like Insanity Machines show yesterday, and then
oh really? Like all of our crowd?
Yeah, like there's a ton of our crowd were on there, and then
well, his strategy's working.
I guess so. And then the night before that, everyone was on Flow State.
Yeah, Flow is drawing a lot because people are going to where the drama is. That's what I'm saying. I think dysfunction gets enmeshed with dysfunction. That's what's going to be interesting to people is the Flow content and the Sanity content, which I've watched some of it myself. I do enjoy his content. He's quite entertaining.
I don't find him very entertaining, but that's
I do. I enjoy his comedy, but
I don't find him very funny. His idea of funny is making fun of people.
We don't have to all find the same thing funny.
Yeah, I know.
I know. I've laughed out loud many times at his commentary, including at us, at me.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't just like ad hominem type shit, I'd probably think it was funny. But he doesn't really make something clever. He just like says like, I know. What's he's calling you?
We don't have to like the same comedians. We don't have to think the
No,
same
no, we
YouTube
don't.
people.
We don't. You're right. I just like but his big joke for you is calling you Janice Jeff, and I'm just like, what?
Well,
Like, why
that's
is
kind
that?
of corny. That wasn't one of the funny. I mean, I don't take offense at it. I think it's just corny. It's
Yeah.
Janice Jeff. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, but now Bex was really cool though. Bex was on there, and she was like, and like he started to go in on both of us, and like she was really defending us, really, and I was really kind of touched by it. I wouldn't have expected her to like be so like to be that cool about trying to stand up for friends and stuff like that. She was actually really like not really confronting him on it, but challenging him on like what he was like saying and stuff. She was like no, you don't understand the context of what this was and stuff like that. And it was really, I was really touched by that. So that was nice to see. That made me feel good.
Is there anything else we can talk about? Some other topic?
I don't know.
Let me see who's streaming right now. Flo is streaming.
Oh, that's probably where everybody is then.
Frank is streaming, and Moose is they're doing video game streaming. Speakeasy's having an open panel. Oh, look who we have here.
Hey, Dolbez.
What a nice treat. Welcome.
What are you doing up? Isn't this like past your bedtime? Or is this
Not
like
in Norway.
It's waking up?
It's morning. It's midnight over here.
Yeah, you're just waking up just now, huh, man?
Is today a school day?
I know we can't hear him.
Oh yeah, your sound's not working. You also don't have your cool avatar.
Maybe it's not the real Dolbez.
Oh, are we gonna get porn bombed by Dolbez?
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty
Spiritual dite. What's a dite?
That's what he had as his subheader earlier. So I don't think I'm pretty sure it's the same. Pretty sure it's the same Dolbez. I think he's just having audio issues.
It says to prepare for action, to make ready, to dite, D-I-G-H-T.
Huh.
Oh, it used to be spiritual detective, and it got cut off. That's what dite is. Okay.
Oh, and Lib, if you're still out there, if you're still out there, what you wrote in the chat about Always Sunny greater than Friends, yeah, that's an easy one, man. I'll never understand people's thing with Friends. Friends is like Community and Parks and Rec both the shit by far. Yep. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of bummed from the injury thing, I guess. It's kind of.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
you're gonna keep getting bummed by other things. So it's not the injury so much as this seems like your life.
Truer words have never been spoken, Jeff. Truer words have never been spoken. Man. It's just been one of those, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I ain't getting into work, so I can't join. That's okay, man. We appreciate you trying to come on. You're always welcome here.
That might have been our one viewer.
Yeah. I've got. What was it? I watched a movie last night that was surprisingly like okay-ish. It was kind of a cam. It wasn't like a really good quality copy, but it was that new movie like with Ryan Gosling called The Fall Guy. It was actually kind of okay.
I don't know anything about it. The Fall Guy.
It's based. I guess it's based on the TV series The Fall Guy. I didn't know that until the end of it.
Oh, wasn't that like an old series?
Yeah, it's like a show from the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fall. Who was the Fall Guy?
I can't remember who the guy was, but it's about a
Oh
stunt
my
man.
God! Was it Lee Majors?
Yeah,
Was that
that's
the one he
right.
did after the Bionic Man? Oh,
Yeah.
I do vaguely remember that. 81 to 86.
Yeah, he's a stunt
So they
man that
made a
kind of solves
movie of it with
mysteries.
Ryan Gosling now as
Yeah.
him. Oh my
Yeah,
God!
and
Okay,
and Ryan Gosling's actually funny in it. It's a cute
it's
little
a
like
comedy.
it's a comedy action like movie. It's like, he uses his stuntman powers to like, to solve the mystery kind of thing. It's
Oh,
pretty
is
it's
it?
pretty all right.
What'd you think? It's okay?
It's okay. It's like it's fluff. It's not like it's
Oh,
not a movie. It's a complete fluff movie. It's not like a movie you watch for any kind of like serious, like
hmm.
deep. It's nothing. There's nothing deep about it. It's just like a
Are
totally.
there any good, deep, serious movies, like new movies lately that I might have missed? Like, say, the last year or so.
I can none that we haven't talked about before. Like I also the other movie I tried watching last night was that movie that I was going to watch a while back in the Discord called Driveway Girls, and that movie was actually pretty bad. I
Oh,
can't
is
believe
that the
I can't
lesbian
I
crime
cannot believe
crime spree?
I can't believe one of the Coen brothers directed that. I cannot believe it's an
I
actual
can't.
everyone.
I never did like the Coen brothers. I never saw what
Really?
people see in them.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I love some Coen brothers films. I love No Country for Old Men. I love
I remember trying to watch Raising Arizona in college in the
Raising Arizona I'm not
dorms.
a huge fan of, but Blood
And
Simple,
it was
I love
okay.
Blood
And then
Simple.
I tried to watch some of the other ones. I just couldn't make. Did they do Fargo? Was that them?
Yeah, they did Fargo, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't make it through Fargo. I couldn't make it through. Did they do Lebowski?
They did Big Lebowski, yeah.
Couldn't make it through that one. I couldn't make it through the prison one, the country, the one with Clooney and their prison
Oh, you mean
escapees.
yeah,
Brother Art Thou?
Brother
Art
War
Thou? Was
Thou?
that Cohen? Yep, couldn't make
You
it
didn't
through
like
that
that
one.
one? Oh wow.
No, I hated it.
Yeah, I liked it. I
My
love
friend
both.
loved it. He had the soundtrack and everything. He said, "You're gonna love this movie. It has bluegrass and
The
everything." And it
soundtrack
was
is
one of
really
the most
good.
painful experiences
The
to sit
soundtrack is
through.
way better than the movie. Honestly, the soundtrack is really good. It's got a great bluegrass
I mean,
soundtrack.
neither one. The soundtrack was okay, but neither one was a cultural event to me. Oh, we might get
I
Dolbez
would
after
not
all.
put it as a cultural event, but I do like I love Burn After Reading. I think Burn After Reading is hilarious. And I think No Country for Old Men is really good. And I think Blood Simple is like one of the best like whole noir films ever made. It's just got some genius like plotting to it. But that was their first movie though. But but still like that like nonetheless even when their movies have been subpar or mediocre in some way there's still like been like a certain level of quality they've always reached. And I guess that quality only applies if they're both working together. Since it was only one of them that worked on it, I guess it doesn't have that charm. I don't know. There's just like there's nothing even particularly charming or it's just kind of a slog of a movie. The whole movie ultimately ends up like revolving around like a briefcase, like a mysterious briefcase type thing, and it turns out the briefcase is filled with dildos. That's the big twist of the movie.
Wait, these are lesbians
Yes.
with dildos, a case full
Well,
of dildos.
they're not. Yeah, I mean, like they didn't steal them unintentionally. They unintentionally steal these dildos.
Is
It doesn't
this
matter.
sounds like someone told me once that Hollywood like has these vaults of these giant vaults of like every plot that anyone could ever think of in case the writers can just go and pull out one of this. Sounds like one of those plots that they just went in the vault and pulled out. Let's see, lesbian dildo briefcase. Use this and
Yeah,
make a movie.
it feels like that. It feels like and like because like the whole thing is that like people are trying to kill them for this case that has these dildos in it because the dildos were all plaster cast of like famous people's penises.
Okay,
And
I'm already enjoying that. Your retelling of the movie is already more enjoyable than the movie itself.
the
Is
movie
probably
would be,
gonna
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it though. Keep going.
But it makes no sense because like they're not like labeled or anything. So there's no way for anyone to
So it's just
know.
random penises, and you have to know which celebrity it belongs
Yeah,
to.
you'd have to know who, and like one of them belongs to the senator who's about to get elected to like he's possibly going to like
Oh,
be the next
because people
president.
would they could use them to blackmail if they knew whose
I guess to
penis.
black, but how would they even
So it
black?
has
I
market
mean, that's not,
value.
but how could they even prove that it was even? I mean, like there's no way to even
I
prove
don't
that it
know.
was
How
really
did the
there.
movie resolve it?
It
Or do
doesn't.
they-
It doesn't. They just
So
like
everybody's trying to get this briefcase because it's so dangerous, but there's not really any way to
Yeah.
reveal whose penis is whose. So why are they even worried? The whole
Yeah.
premise falls apart.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're lesbians.
And they're lesbians, and it's
That's
just these two.
weird.
And like I like one of the actresses that plays one of the two lesbian girls. I like that one of the actresses but she uses like she has like the most overwrought.
Are straight women allowed to play lesbians anymore, or do they have to be lesbians?
I'm pretty sure that the one girl is straight in real life, but I don't know about the other one. But I mean,
welcome, Dolbez. If you have any thoughts on any.
Oh yeah, are you there? Can you talk?
Oh yeah, I got it to work.
You are
so what I had
kind
to
of
do.
scratchy, like you're.
Yeah, you said.
Oh well, that's probably because I'm
like you're rubbing the
on my phone.
microphone on your face or something. Ooh, now it sounded like the demon got you. It sounded Blair Witch.
Wait, seriously?
Ooh, yeah, that's Chris. Whatever you're doing now, remember this because we need to put it in the movie. This is
Okay.
Wait, how do I sound? Because I have no way of
demon,
knowing.
like demon possessed. This is great.
Wait, Jeff, can you in Stream Labs open your stream so I can hear back what I'm saying? Because I have no way of hearing how I sound.
Open my stream.
Yeah, so I can hear, because to me it seems like this works perfectly fine, but apparently it doesn't.
What do you mean
that.
open my stream?
Because I'm on my phone, I can't do multiple tabs. So if I close out and try to hear myself, I'll. Stream.
Okay. You mean share the stream?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Let me do that.
It just sounds garbled. It sounds like a bad connection. Like if you were like if you were like it. If you were on a cell phone like up in the mountains and you barely had a connection, that's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go.
How do I sound? Let's see. How do I sound?
Very meta.
Okay, yes, that's horrible. How do I sound?
Yeah, you see it now?
Okay, yes, that's horrible. How do I sound?
Or hear it?
Okay, yes, that's horrible.
Wow.
Okay, Jeff, come on. Okay, yes, that's horrible.
Wow.
Okay,
Jeff,
y'all carry on. Okay, yes, that's horrible.
Really soothing.
Okay, Jeff, y'all carry on.
Stop it, Jeff. Stop it before we cross.
Stop
it, Jeff. Stop it
Where's
before
the
we cross.
Stop it, Jeff. Y'all carry on. Y'all carry on. Y'all carry on. Are y'all talking? Y'all carry on. Or is it taking your voice with it? Y'all carry on. Or is it taking your voice with it? Can you hear me way down there? Or is it taking your voice with it? Can you hear me way down there?
I can hear you over
That
and
was
over.
cool. It was like y'all were not
I can hear you over
That
and
was
over.
cool. It was like y'all were not It's gotta stop.
Over
That
and
was
over.
cool. It was like y'all were not It's gotta stop. That was cool. It was like y'all were not That is cool. It's gotta stop. All right. At least I got okay. That gave me my little tickle for the night. Did you get your sound checked? Or?
I'm still not sure what's the problem is, but let me try this.
Yeah, it's real water. It's
real
like you're coming into like
hear me? Is it better
TV
now?
and Poltergeist. Oh, now
Is it better now?
No, it's the echo.
Okay, then I have no idea, because usually the
Now you sound
quality
fine.
on
Now you sound fine. Now you sound
Okay,
fine.
well, that's because I switched to my no earbuds at all. But usually the earbuds are fine too. So that's.
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
this is a lot better.
Yeah, you sound good now. So.
Well, that means I
Buds.
have a timeline at least. Yeah, by the way, you should have taken a screenshot or something of the stream when it was.
Oh fuck. Oh well, I could still do it on the replay. I could go back and replay.
Yes.
and
Does that
capture-
look
or
like
even clip it.
another dream or something?
That could be our introductory clip.
Panelverse Infinite.
Yeah.
223, y'all.
Oh, do you want to wrap up?
No, 223 is just a special number.
Oh, okay. Well, it went and gone.
It's from in the show 12 Ounce Mouse. In the entirety of the show, that the clock is always stuck at 222, and in the final moments of the last episode, like it finally clicks over 223, which like came to mean for me and like Lindsay and stuff. It was like anytime we like looked at the clock and it's 223, it felt like it was like, it was like one of those things like that kind of like remind you that things will move on, things will get better.
Oh.
It's like it's a comforting thing. It doesn't mean anything. I don't think it actually has real meaning, but it's just like a comforting. Like some people feel that way, like they see 11:11 or something like that.
11:11. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess I don't
Some people think that if you haven't looking at the clock in a long time, and you look at the clock and it says 11:11, that means like it's like God talking to you or something like that. So
Oh my God, no, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Is there
it's
one
of
for
those weird
Satan?
things.
There's not going to be a 666 on the clocks.
No,
we need
there's not.
a one for Satan. I need to know that he's out there listening somehow. Hey, freak.
Well, you could try to make a clock that goes above 60 seconds.
They
make
had
a second clock. That would be
hang on. There's a way to do it. Hang on. Is it upside down? Is it not? They had growing up in the city, they had the Devil House, and everybody would drive by it. We would dare each other to drive by it. And it was this little house in this suburb. And supposedly devil worshippers lived there. And they had a little alarm clock in the window that was always set to 666. And when you drove by, you could see that alarm clock in the window. So somehow those devil people got it to stay on 666. Because everybody would drive by the Devil House. And because of that alarm clock.
Funny.
It was like one of the urban legends in my town. So there's got to be a way.
If it's an old manual clock, if it's not digital, there would be a 6 on the final thing.
But then you can use it to speak to you because it has to be something that cycles, right. So that when like you needed that signal at the right time, it would have the ability to display.
I still have to. I forgot. I still have to send you your Devil Watch that I got you.
Oh yeah, I forgot too.
That no one will ever be able to read the time from. You'll never be able to read the time from it. But that's part of what makes it so evil.
Yeah.
Right? People will ask you for the time. You'll be like, I have no idea. What do you think that says?
Here.
You know what's more evil? You do it 1 hour late or something. With summer and winter time, it's opposite, and so it always.
Your mic's doing it again.
Okay, well then I just can't talk. I think
I heard. Oh damn! I heard summer,
and it got better again. I don't know what's happening.
It's like, is it maybe too close to your mouth?
Maybe. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better.
I don't know. Talk a little bit. You were talking about summer.
Weird to hold the phone like this, but that's fine.
It's a little better.
Better now, even.
Yeah, better now, even.
I'm literally walking as if I'm T-posing. This looks so weird.
You're like an NPC that glitched out in a video game, just doing like the T-pose.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And what did the freak say? Oh.
I heard a cat or a bird or both.
Yeah, I'm walking outside. You probably heard a kindergarten. That's right.
Oh, that was children?
Yes, that was children, Jeff.
Demons. Somebody see you. Norwegians need to check their children for demons.
Don't worry. We like the demons.
Well, that's an interesting thing to post.
Does that not sound like a cat to you? That's a child?
That was a child.
Sounds like a child to me.
Crying in the distance? Okay. Yeah. Well, cats are supposed to sound like children anyway, so they're doing a good job. They're imitating Norwegian children.
Silent, mostly.
Is that a cat or a Norwegian child?
There's no cat around. There's no. The only thing that was here was a taxi, electric Hyundai taxi, I think, and children. So I don't know where you heard the cat from.
Oh, I don't know. I'll go back and replay the stream. Not really, but I could.
That's an interesting thing you post there to Freak from the
Quran.
Yeah.
They will stab you in the back and then deny you and then accuse you and then mock. I've seen that happen on these streams. People will do this. I don't know Satan necessarily. Satan sucks balls. Balls. I mean, humans will do this. It doesn't even take a supernatural entity. I've seen humans do this to each other.
Well, it depends on the view. A lot of moralities have, humanity is really good, and so all evil is just a
It's
devil.
doing it again.
How far out do I need to hold my phone?
I heard morality. Yeah, I sound like The Exorcist. That sound like Linda Blair. What's the demon's name? Pazuzu?
Maybe I should just give up.
Well, and now you sound fine again.
Yeah.
This is why you usually don't join streams on the phone.
Oh, it's because you're on the phone. Are you at your house?
I'm walking to school and I'm bored.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, we could entertain you at least on your walk to school. It's probably enough to get us through that. Yeah. So that explains the kids. I thought you were in your house and you had like a cat or something.
No, not at all. My siblings are not that young. Not anymore.
Yeah, I hear you walking.
Wait, you can
What's
hear
the weather like there today?
Wait, I can show you. Just
wow. We can see Norway. This is Norway. Oh my God. This is your walk to school? Wow.
I don't see if I'm using the front camera or the back camera.
It looks like the front. Well, now we see the top of your head. Now we saw your face. Norway's y'all keep it. What was that? Were they like scooting to school? Was that a Segway?
Yeah, exactly. It was an electric scooter. I hate that it's using the selfie camera, and I don't see any button to turn it around.
Oh, it's awfully scenic. How long is your walk?
3.5 kilometers, but it's only the early part that's through a kind of.
Do they have bears or wolves?
Well, not inhabited area, but the rest is in the city. But no, there's no bears there. We made them extinct in this area in the Viking Age. We don't want.
This is not what I was expecting. This is gorgeous. Wow.
Welcome to Norway.
I wasn't expecting trees at all. Like not this many trees.
Well, Norway is a very forested area. We were the main exporter of wood in the basically Middle Ages, and before, like all of London after the Great Fire in the 1600s was rebuilt with Norwegian wood. So we're famous for it.
From this area?
Maybe not from this area. More, well, this area too, honestly. But everywhere, basically. Well, we love our.
It's sunny too.
Yeah, it is sunny. It's been cloudy.
Blue sky.
Yeah, it's been cloudy for the past 2-3 days, so it's really nice to finally have the sun again. But it's not really that hot. Even though there's sun, it's only 9 degrees.
He was walking really fast.
I think it's also that I'm walking fast, both walking fast in opposite direction.
And it looks like y'all don't really talk to each other. Y'all just hurry about your business.
It's not really that common to just talk with strangers.
How far is the school? Is this a farmhouse?
That's a farmhouse. This is a farm.
Oh wow!
And you also have this was my elementary school actually. I don't go there now.
Who? That's your what?
Elementary school.
Your who? Oh, your other. Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So in there, I won't enter it, because I don't have that much time to share. I hope the camera quality is fine because I don't see any button to turn the camera around, so I'll still have to use the selfie. Wait, I think I know how to do it. Facing back. Allow that. Yes.
Now we see your shadow.
Yes.
Cool too.
I can actually see
very artsy. That looks like army barracks. That's your elementary school?
This is okay. So basically, we're going to make another.
Looks like army base.
It's a big proper building, but then they got lazy, and so instead of finishing the last part, they just allow the workers' barracks to stay there and became the classrooms. So you have this workers' barracks building instead of finishing it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like maybe that's their version of Washington.
Yeah, well, I know the climate zone of Norway is kind of, it's basically Alaska. So kind of similar to Washington, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Is it really cold? Is it really cold?
We
there?
actually, ours is
10
actually
degrees right now. Yeah, 10 degrees Celsius. I don't know
some
what
weird
that is.
rainforest climate.
Still
great.
climate, though.
It's very green for being 10 degrees. Or
Wait,
those all
it's
ever-
10 degrees? Like, well, oh, you're talking about Celsius.
Yes, Celsius.
Oh,
Oh,
what
okay.
is it?
Yeah,
Well, so
that's
that
like
is still not that much, you know, but
it's like
but,
60 degrees Fahrenheit, though, isn't it?
I don't know the conversions. I'm not American. I'm sorry,
But
but
knew everything.
yeah. it's really green because, you know,
This is not. Is this a school? This is nice.
yeah, no, this is just housing. Just
Oh, okay.
houses. So you can
Oh,
see,
housing? Scandinavian. Oh.
yeah, you know, or well, this is more modernist.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like those. I like that kind of style of house. I don't know if I'd want to live in one, but I like the look of it.
Then you also have,
I was. This is gorgeous. I was not expecting this at all. This is so.
you know what's funny? The
Such a
city
treat.
I'm in, the city I'm in is, I consider pretty ugly, and it's one of the uglier towns in Norway because it has no history, no nothing. And if you're considering this beautiful, then what are you dealing with in America? What are you used to?
No. I mean, it's very nice up here where I am, but I'm talking about like Norway.
Mm,
I was expecting like, what's the True Detective, the one we just watched, the one set up in Alaska.
you were
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all these trees and sunshine, and I'm like, I was not expecting this kind of beauty.
I've seen pictures from Norway before. I've always thought it was very pretty.
It is very pretty. I will say it is
If-
cool.
Like now,
Yes.
if you go to Greenland, however, Greenland looks like that True Detective season.
Or what about Iceland?
Iceland's
seems
actually very
nice.
very green
Green.
for the most part.
Although to be fair, Norway isn't green in the winter, obviously, or the autumn. It's just that right in the spring, it's really green, and then in the summer,
Is that
It's all
are you in your summer? Is this or you're coming into spring, right? Like
and this
everyone
is spring, not summer.
else? Y'all have more of a spring.
Yeah, well, we waited a long time. This winter was I think it was the worst winter in 30 years.
Look
So,
how well kept those hedges are.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
It's,
relatively. Wow. I still can't. Like, you're still not at school yet. This is a long scenic walk every
Yeah,
day.
you're gonna be able to tell your grandchildren, like, seriously, like, I had to walk 10 miles to school, you know. Yeah.
Is
it's
this the
only-
school?
it's only, what would that be in miles? It's only
Is this the
2
school? It looks like
miles.
little pods.
This
You
is
go
the
to a pod
residential area.
school?
Though. Soon I'm out of the residential area and into the more city, and that's not as good looking, let's say.
You don't even try riding a bike or anything. You just walk.
Well, I could ride a bike. It's just that I prefer walking. I like to have 30 minutes, 40 minutes before school where I can
Oh,
just
thanks to below
get ready.
50 degrees.
And it's really good for it's a time where I can actually listen to podcasts and get something done at least, you know. So I really like
Yeah.
walking.
No,
How many kilometers did you say it was to school?
3.5, 3.5.
3.5. Damn.
Well, 7
that's way
kilometers a
longer than
day.
I ever had to walk.
7 kilometers a day, back and to there and back. It's not that long though. It only takes me 30 minutes.
But like I used to like when I lived out in the country and stuff like that. I used to take walks like that through the like where my parents lived out in the country, like we're that long all the time.
We
It's
ride
just
our
it's nice.
bikes.
It's nice and peaceful, and I prefer walking to riding bikes too. Because like
We did.
because I hate
And we had
I
a
hate
4-wheeler at one time.
I hate especially
riding
where
lawnmower.
I live in Texas, we tend to have like some extreme hills in different places, and so like you'll be doing fine like small hills and stuff like that. But then you get to like these massive steep hills, and it's like you pretty much just have to get off the bike and walk them up the hill. There's almost no way you can pedal over them. You know, there's just like
Oh, we're
there's just
seeing. Are you late? Did the bell
No,
ring?
I'm not particularly late. I'm actually early.
Oh, I saw
My,
you running. We're
I
seeing actual Norwegians. This is so cool.
actual society.
I know. I
That's
thought they would
serious
have like
reflection though, and I
helmets
can't
with
really hear what you're
horns
saying
on it.
because of the traffic. But
be careful, don't get hit, man.
Oh,
traffic respects
Cross the
pedestrians.
Norwegians seem too polite to hit people crossing the
Well, I
road.
mean, I just anytime anybody's crossing the street, like I always like it always freaks me out here. Like there's people here.
I had to cross like an 8-lane interstate in Austin. That was one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah,
It was like that Atari game Freeway. It really felt like a
or
live.
Frogger. Kinda
Yeah,
like
the one where
Frogger,
the
yeah.
chicken had to. Yeah, kind of like. Because
Well,
I was late for a job interview, and I took the bus took me off at the wrong side of the interstate. And I realized the place was across the interstate, and I went by. I said, I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to book it. And I ran across both lanes, both ways. And those cars go way faster in person than they do visually when you're watching outside. It was so scary.
People in Texas have this bizarre, especially, and I know this is gonna sound it's usually people that appear to be quite poor too, and I don't know what the correlation is, but like I don't know if they're trying to commit suicide or what, but like I swear to God, they will wait until you're getting too close to the path, and then they will start to cross the road right as you're like it looks like they're trying to walk in front of your car. And
Is
they
this
won't,
like
but
in cities or on in country road?
in the
Where was
cities.
he walking? Man, see, this is I would want to stop and talk to all these people on the way. I would especially streaming. This is I want. Oh, fuck. If you weren't going to school, I would try to get a man on the street and a Norwegian on the street.
Well, you're getting part of it. So
Yeah, that's true. This is great. I want more of this. Bro. Wow. If any viewers out there have an interesting life and you want it, like an interesting can include a walk to school, and you want to come on and stream it, we are all about that kind of stuff.
That's us. 19 comments. I'm sorry,
We're bringing the world together.
Read all of those.
One stream at a time. If you drop me off, like blindfolded me and dropped me off here, I would not know I was in Norway.
You would when you tried to ask for directions.
Maybe they. But
I mean, a lot of people speak English there, though, don't they? It's a pretty English friendly country, isn't it?
Norway?
Hmm.
Yes, we are.
I mean,
Most people know English.
He speaks better than a lot of Americans.
Oh, I know. I just know there's a few countries like that are just very English friendly. You know, like that you can actually usually get around. Like,
Are there some that are not?
Oh yeah, there are some that are not.
Besides France,
I've heard that Germany is not very English friendly. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard.
How does Anglo-Saxon what is Anglo-Saxon culture? This is Frank has no appreciation for culture.
Anyways, guys, I'll have to turn off because now I'm in a way too crowded
Oh.
area. I don't talk openly and film in a crowded areas. So
oh man, that made my night. That was the highlight.
That was really cool.
My day and my night. Wow. I won't. Okay, Frank, the freak. Y'all stream next time you're out. Come show us your life. That's so cool.
I got to get
you know what, Frank? It was worth the experience. Or you, first of all, okay, I know what's happening. You were in bed a few hours ago. I had sent you off to bed, and so you're awake at what time is it there? 4 a.m. You're cranky. You haven't had your Ovaltine and your teething biscuit, and you're on here trying to shit on everything and ruin the fun for everybody else, as usual when you get in these moods. I've seen your pattern too. I'm telling you, I learn people's patterns very quickly. If the migrant camp is... You talking about the worker camp or the actual the migrants that are coming in?
Frank just said bastard.
Bastard. Frankie, come up and let's read the script. You could play one of the boobs.
I don't know the
We
boobs have any lines.
we could do like a few lines for fun if you want, just to get started. I think I have the script. But I think you sent it to me on Discord, and it was like I'd have to scroll up forever to find it.
There's literally in my Discord channel, there's if you scroll down, there's literally a running away screaming section, and it has this. One of the things is just the script posted. It's just there, just as a script repository.
Okay, Running Away. That's the name of the movie, Running Away Screaming. I must have it somewhere because it's a PDF. Let me check something here. Yeah, I do have it already. So let me pull it up. Unless you revised it since then.
I decided not to touch it until after we did the reading thing, just because like it just for the sake of posterity. There are some things that I think I'd like to revise, but I don't know. I'd like to.
What are the characters again, and which ones do you think I should read and you should read?
Oh, I don't know. I have to pull it up. 1 second. I'm going to pull it myself.
Opening it now. Running Away Screaming. I hope that's not prophetic of the audience response. We'll find out.
Thanks, Jeff.
Silent Planet Productions. So this was written in 2010? Or 29?
This draft was written in 2010, yeah.
Okay. And it opens, is that exterior of movie theater?
Yes, it's exterior movie theater.
So they're coming out of the theater, the cinema.
Yeah, it's like the back door, like the back door.
And Carter Thomas is the main character?
Main character, yeah.
So he walks out of the movie theater and he starts talking to the camera and he has the opening lines. And so are you Carter? Is that written after you?
I guess I'll.
And is this poetry because it's divided into lines or is that just the formatting?
That's how screenplays are formatted.
Okay.
This is traditional.
So I don't have to read it like Shakespeare.
No, it's not. It's not.
Just read it like English.
That's just the way screenplays are set up. So it'd be like exterior movie theater afternoon. Carter Thomas emerges from a door addressing the camera. Carter to cameras. So let's say you're walking out of a movie, right? Let's say that you were to run into 4 ex-lovers, 4 people you had no idea.
Okay, stop. Cut. Cut. I'm going to direct too. Okay, I'm already not interested. You've already lost me. That was so boring and deadpan. That can't be how he opens the movie.
No, it should be a lot more charismatic. I'm just tired.
Okay. Because you're setting the tone for how the movie should go. So, like, how would he actually say it if you were filming it? Is it
you're
like,
right.
So, let's say you were walking out of a movie, right? Let's say that you run into 4 ex-lovers. Like, is it like more animated?
Yes, it's much
more. If somebody walked out of a movie and started mumbling, so let's say you were walking out of a movie, I would I would go to the ticket thing and ask for my money back right away and saying, this is not the movie I came to sit through, is it?
You're right. I did not read that. I wasn't even really trying to start. I was just saying that that's how you would break up that's how you would read the stage directions and then the dialogue. I was just trying to demonstrate the format. So let's say you're walking out of a movie, right? Let's say that you were to run into 4 ex-lovers, 4 people that you had no idea even knew each other. It says, especially he sees, it says we see. That's a mistake there. It
says 4 girls.
He says he sees 4 girls standing in line at the box office together. And so then it's Carter again. and now there they are together, and they see you.
So
And
does he know these girls?
yes, he does.
Okay. And then
Then it
cut to.
cuts to exterior movie theater afternoon. Um,
So did he see the girls and like turn around and start pretending to look at a poster so they don't notice him?
it's supposed to be kind of
What?
like it's supposed to be like a flat. This is supposed to be like it's this part's confusing. I need to clean
Yeah,
this up.
I'm trying to understand the transition.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like this is supposed to be like separate from like the voiceover parts supposed to be separate from the
Oh,
actual
and
like
then
reality.
like new scene. Suddenly we see him looking at a poster.
It's like a flashback. Yeah, it's like a
Side
flashback
to
to when
side.
this
Oh,
actually
the
happened.
poster part's the flashback
Yeah,
of why he knows the girls.
yeah.
Okay, I get it now. So
No,
now we're in his
he's checking
past.
out a poster when he hears voices calling from that
And
direction.
this would be visually the audience would get this because they would see
Yes.
that the okay. And then so I guess I can be Christy. That's one of the girls. What's her personality like? It says OS. What is OS?
Off screen.
Oh, okay. So I'm just off screen. Well, here,
Yeah.
I'll turn my avatar off to reflect that. What is her personality? How should I do this? She
Just
knows him, so she sees him looking at the poster.
they're all just being super nice at this point. So like it
Carter, is that you?
yeah, you could do that. That's fine. And then
Carter, is that you?
we cut back, and it cuts back to him to his voice to his like to the camera.
So now we're back where we were at the beginning. So it was just that brief little flashback of her asking.
And it cuts back and forth.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're gonna be back and forth from the flashbacks to the narration.
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Exterior movie theater afternoon. Carter 2 camera.
It's
You might
already a
wonder.
Chris
You might
movie.
wonder if they've talked about you. Would they? Maybe it's worse if they didn't. And we can now see all 4 girls. You know, it's supposed to. This is supposed to be
So
a
now
like
they're
a,
on screen.
yeah. Now they're supposed to be the exterior thing should be moved up there. It should be above there. It's a mistake. And we now see all 4 girls recognizing him turning his way. And then he says this really should be a voiceover and not the camera. It should and says the horror. God, I didn't realize there was this many like mistakes in this part. This is annoying me.
And Carter said horror. So he did so he knows he got recognized. I do want to try Drunk Southern Slut. Oh, I guess we're on screen, so I could turn my camera on.
So and VO stands for voiceover. So that's like the narration continuing another thing, but this is now as a voiceover over their scene. So it's like at first glance it might seem like an overreaction. It's not. Disaster seems certain to follow.
Oh,
and
okay.
then
Wait.
so
Carter's wait at first. Okay, so this is him still in the present narrating.
Yes, he's still in the present narrating, and as he starts walking towards the girls, and then it cuts back to him like in the
I
present
feel like I
day.
do need boobs for this to really get into character. We might have to get me some boobs.
Okay, all right, that'll work.
Or like you know what? You can use pantyhose and water balloons because my drag freak queen friend that's what he used to use, and I used to be his assistant, and I would have to carry his boobs into the bar along with his makeup case and help him get ready. So I could at least do that. So yes, we will get boobs. Go ahead. Carter is in the empty parking lot address. So is this like modern world still?
Yeah, this is present. This is back to present day.
Okay, and this is a
and
this is like a
this
monologue.
is once again back. This is one back to. It should say 2 camera, but it doesn't say that anyway. It was different in my case because, strange as it sounds, I've never actually dated any of them or anyone. I had a couple of drunken flings, a casual hookup or 2, but I've always had reasons for not getting involved, like needing to focus on work or school or something. Maybe I was just scared. I don't really know anymore. But here they were, the ones I sent away. In each case,
wait, I have a question. What does beat mean?
That just means like just a pause.
Oh, okay. That's like a cinema term.
It's a cinema term.
Like
Yeah, there's a lot of like. Yeah, I was really formalistic when I was writing this. I don't really write this formalistically anymore, but I wrote this really according to like actual like Hollywood spec standards. So anyway. But here they were, the ones I sent away. In each case, we'd reached that place where we could either become more than friends or go back to being casual acquaintances, and life gets busy and crowded, and you realize that you have to either make a bigger, you either have to have you either have to either have a bigger reason to make time to spend with each other, or it's see you when I see you. And now here they were together. How does that work? And then it goes back to the flashback, and he goes back to
Oh wait, I'm confused. Okay, so in the modern world, he walks out the theater, and the girls are also there.
No,
and
he's
then-
reflecting on when this happened. This happened like some time
But
back.
does he see them currently? Let me go back up and look.
It's confusing because I put the scene headings in the wrong place, a couple places there. That I
He
gotta
sees. So in the modern world, he sees 4 girls. He sees them, the same girls from the flashback. He sees them in the modern world, and that's what prompts the flashback.
No.
Oh,
No, it's just he's just telling the story. There's like the flash.
or
The
does he
voice.
see 4 random girls and starts flashing back to these other different girls that he knows?
Have you ever seen the movie High Fidelity?
A long time ago. Because all it says is he sees 4 girls standing in line at the box office, but it doesn't say if those 4 girls are the same ones in the flashback.
Yeah, I know it does. It's that's because, like I said, I put the scene headings are in the wrong place. That needs to be fixed before we would do a reading, because the scene headings are making it confusing. But no, like he's not seeing them in the present day. They aren't there in the present day. This the present day, like talking to the camera part. It's almost like taking place like kind of outside of the reality of the movie to a degree. It's almost like part of his. It's like an inner monologue. It's like part of his head.
Okay.
This is like he's like telling the story to the audience. It's he's directly addressing the audience and talking to them, so that it kind of exists kind of outside of the reality of the film. Like when it goes back
Okay,
to like
now now it says we're back to where Carter was spotted by the 4 women. So that's in the flashback, right?
yeah, it's in the flashback, yeah.
Okay, so
And
now we're back.
this is what actually happened in the flashback, and like so
All right.
he's well this is a surprise, and he proceeds to
I'll
hug
be
and reveal.
Christy and Julie could be the drunk Southern slut.
Okay. And then so there's Christy.
Wait, what do you say? Oh, do Carter again?
Oh,
Uncomfortably.
so well, this is a surprise. And
then
he
you
proceeds
go
to
to
hug and
hug
greet
us.
the girls. Yeah.
Oh my God, Carter! I haven't seen you in what? Has it been actual years?
I don't know. Maybe.
You know, I think I actually saw you about a year ago. Not sure where.
Well, I'm
That drunk
around.
enough?
I mean,
Oh, what? I'm not getting up, so you could just imagine the limp. Go ahead. Sorry, Frank is helping to. He's our AD. Oh, okay. So Carter. Wait,
I said,
Julie.
well, I'm around.
Oh, Jess. Wait, I can't be all these bitches. Hang on, who's
Well,
Jess?
there's 4 girls, so like yeah, Jess.
Shit. We're okay. This will be the carrot. Shit. Well, carrot wouldn't say shit. Shit. We're gonna be late. You have tickets, Alice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice will be the lesbian. Yeah.
And then
Okay, then let's go in. It was nice seeing you, Carter. Maybe I'll see you sometime. Don't be a stranger. And then
Carlos
Carter
is
is
shocked as he
slightly
watches them go inside.
shocked as he watches them go inside. So they weirded him out for some reason. I don't know why.
Just because he didn't know they knew each other. He had no idea
Oh, that didn't
so-
come through. That he
Yeah,
so
like-
he knows all of these women individually, but they all know each other, but he didn't know that.
he had no idea that in the
that
times
needs to come through somehow.
he says it up at the beginning. He says like 4 people that you had no idea even knew each other was the first line of the movie.
Oh,
The
yeah,
first
that
line
got
there.
lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is good though. This is why we do this.
Right.
Okay, so now they're going inside.
Yeah, so they go inside, and then
excellent boobs.
Then we go back to the kind of like the talking to the camera part, and it says so Carter goes, so did I miss something here? Now faced with these almost wers and could have beens, I suddenly felt a rush of panic and doubt. Something about seeing the 4 of them at once. I don't know. Maybe I was just lonely and previously unaware of it. But I felt like it was this universe trying to tell me I missed out. I kept myself at a safe distance from any kind of real relationship with these women and convinced myself that I was just waiting until I was ready to take one seriously, that I was protecting them somehow. Suddenly I realized that I may have been simply too chicken shit to risk the possibility of caring for someone enough for them to become a priority, or God forbid, fall in love. So it was enough to make me want to run away screaming.
Yeah,
And
that part's gonna take work. Okay, but
Sure.
let me at least get in the plot. So he's saying that he's like musing on his relationships with these women and women in general.
Yes.
Okay. So then it says enter Carter's car, interior of Carter's car day. So he's in his car talking to the camera.
Now he's gotten in his car and said, so I went to the only place I could think of to go, the place I was least likely to be bothered, and it cuts to the mall. He addresses the camera as he walks to the gallery area, looking inquisitively at passerbys. I think these days we'd have to shoot it like a mall that's like kind of mostly dead too, because like back
Because
then
it's going to be modern world. So like a
yeah,
ghost town type mall.
yeah, that's what I would do these days. Because like at the time when I wrote this, malls were still like a popular thing. They're barely even like
What is do they even have a modern version of the mall? Is it like the whole?
I mean, there are malls that are still fairly well trafficked here in Dallas, but a lot of them have become ghost towns. So they're just not very common. And there's not a place that people really go anymore. So it kind of makes even more sense that like he would go there to not be bothered. He was just trying to work through things in his head, and he's walks to the gallery.
So now he's walking through the gallery as the mall.
Yeah, the gallery is that's just what they call the that's just what they call the main the main
promenade.
Yeah, the main
hallway. So he's walking
mall.
through the gallery of the mall, just kind of thinking to himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's still talking to the camera. He says, "Don't ask me why I came here. I hate them all, and not due to some loathing of the overwhelming sense of commercialism or consumerism or frivolously spent wealth either. I mean, it's a fucking mall, practically a vacuum, a place where nobody knows your name." And then he immediately sees somebody that knows him. He sees his friend Sean Gray sitting on a bench.
Sean Gray. Okay,
Sean
I
Gray,
could play Sean Gray. What is Sean like? What's his personality?
Sean is a kind of a think of it like a goofball sidekickish kind of character. Like he's kind of boisterous.
Does he do drugs?
Probably. I don't think he does any of this. He's kind of loud and obnoxious, and in this case, he's drunk. He's drunk in this scene. So.
Okay. So we're at the mall. He's at the mall drunk. What time of day is this?
Yeah, well, that's kind of part of the joke too.
Oh.
Carter's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And it says Sean is obviously drunk. And Sean's like, what the fuck are you go on. Anyway.
What the fuck are you doing here, man?
Fair enough. And then he sits down next to him.
I came in here to buy something. I just
forgot because you're drunk?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, you smell like a prom date.
I had to wash down the peels with something. Dude.
What the hell could you have come here to buy?
I don't know. Video games. I was gonna leave.
Okay, more accurately, to what do we owe the afternoon mall bender?
Thanks for the support, dickhead. Wait, what did you ask?
Why for mall bender?
Oh, right. Me and Carrie broke up last night.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I even ever actually met her. Actually.
Yep.
So you've been drinking ever since?
Since this morning. It's weird. Like, days just go funny when you start drinking in the morning. It takes you places.
Right. So does that mean you're depressed?
Well, I'm drunk. Salutes cup. Drinking, and drunk. You want some?
Yeah. And Carter takes a drink, but it's like a hard time swallowing it. Like,
what's that about? The hard time swallowing?
Because it's supposed to.
Because it's nasty. It's so strong.
Nasty.
Okay, I see.
Like, what is this like? What, whiskey and tequila? Like, and then
and Diet Coke. I made a gallon of it.
Wow, a whole gallon.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Fair enough. So
what are you fucked up about?
Oh, you remember Julie?
This character's perfect for me. Yeah, cute chick.
Yeah, I just ran into her and 3 other girls too.
Okay, and then I look over. How do I look over at you? I thought I was talking to you.
Well, like they're both sitting on a bench facing forward.
Oh, so then I like look over
Yeah.
over at you, like like shell shocked at the thought of it.
Yeah.
Oh, were they zombies?
What?
Well, you're upset about seeing some cute girl, so I figured that maybe that upset you because they were zombies now, or fat, or oh God, were they fat?
Dick. Now it just got me thinking.
Hey, you have a cigarette?
And so then it cuts to outside, and they're smoking and talking.
So you're gonna ask her out then?
Yeah, I think so.
It's about fucking time, man.
I figured you'd say that.
Silence for a beat until Sean appears. So it takes me a while to realize something.
Like he takes a drag off the cigarette. It just like he just like said.
Oh fuck!
What now?
I just think that has got to be a fucking sign.
A sign.
Yeah, a fucking sign. Because since the breakup last night, I was thinking that maybe it's time to focus on my film and music and
Graduating.
fuck that. But you see what I mean? You see what I mean?
Not at all. No, not.
You
not
you
not
know
at all.
you're gonna ask a girl out. I'm gonna try to focus on my career, and it's like that kid story about the mice and shit.
Sure it is.
Or some movie shit. You go and do my thing, and I go do yours, and then we both learn like life lessons and shit. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, can we not do that? We're not going to do that.
Yeah, word.
Okay, so then we enter the Silent Planet is
hang on. I want to take a quick break. I want to catch up on comments, which is mostly Frank, and then I need to go. I meant to go get a refill before we started this. My mouth is really dry.
Oh, here, yeah, go for it, man.
So I'll be right back. But maybe you can like talk and give some background or something.
Sure. Well, I'll wait till you get back though, because like I need to explain like what the Silent Planet is. So, but what's up, Frank? Out there in Comet Land. Dude, you know, like they used to have 24-hour malls in Vegas, dude. Like they weren't actually, all the stores weren't open, but the ones that were connected to casinos, you could like the actual mall galleries were like open to you could just like walk through them like in the middle of the night, you know, and like they still have the blue sky thing up, so it would still like seem like it was daytime, but all the stores were closed and shit. You could just like go through and like just sit down in like the malls in there and just like chill and like watch people. I used to do that a lot. It was one of the cool things about Vegas back then. Alice is a pretty minor character. So was it Jen? I think did I name her Jen? I can't remember. But Alice is a pretty minor character. So is the main two characters are Julie and the main two female characters are Julie and Christy. Those are the main like love interest type things that kind of have like there's like I guess kind of a love triangle kind of thing, but it's not really a love triangle, but he has kind of more serious like interactions with them. But I mean literally I'm not even gonna lie. I mean like I did rip off the structure of High Fidelity quite a bit. This is my very first screenplay, by the way. This is the very first thing I ever wrote as a screenplay or any kind of like long form anything. Like I'd written only short stuff before. This is the first time I ever tried to write something that was like a feature length anything, and it went through several revisions before it got to the state it is now. But it is very much a reflection of who I was whenever I wrote it too. Which is why I'm surprised I'm not more embarrassed by it, because like like a lot of times like whenever
Embarrassed by what?
Oh, I'm not embarrassed. I'm saying I said I'm surprised I'm not embarrassed by it, because it's very much a
By
reflection
what?
of
I missed it.
I'm just saying of the script because like
Oh, of the script.
it's very much a reflection of who I was when I first wrote it, even though it went through a lot of revisions and stuff. And we're at this point still fuck like this draft is 14 years old. So, you know, I was really surprised whenever I read it again and I didn't just cringe the whole way through. Like, I mean, normally.
Are you cringing now?
No, actually, I'm actually still pretty happy with the dialogue and the banter and everything. Like I'm kind of mad at myself for some of like those mistakes I had in like terms of the formatting up there, but that's formatting and shit. That's really not that big of a deal.
Oh well,
But
that's
the actual content of the actual character interactions and stuff like that, I still feel pretty good about, surprisingly. It's something. I mean, I don't know if it'll hold up for other people, but it holds up for me, and like in a lot of ways that's more surprising because I'm very very harsh on all of my work. I I will literally trash my work like all over the place, just like.
Does it still? No, we're not, Frank. Quit teasing. Or are you talking about yourself? I'm well. Damn it! Remember us, little people. It was nice
Yeah.
hanging out with you. Do you Oh fuck! What was I going to say about? Oh, does it still have the same energy for you that it did before?
Yes, surprisingly, yes. I think there's a little bit in my kind of aggressive editing on this particular draft. I feel like I probably need to. There's a few things I need to go add back in to a couple parts of it that are near the end that I feel like the ending feels a little thin at this point, but still like it's like it was also like the original the first time I wrote this thing I it was like over 130 pages and over years and years of like revisions and stuff I got it down below 90 and actually like streamlined the story and the pacing and everything a lot. I'm
This is
actually
the
pretty.
streamlined version.
Yeah, it's pretty. It actually flows pretty well. Like now in this like part, like it visually on a screen, it wouldn't take much. You wouldn't really have to like explain this, but
Right. Yeah.
for the sake of our reading it, like the Silent Planet is a nightclub, is like a venue, like a music venue that Carter runs with his friend.
Let's get funky.
Who is the
Oh,
guy
sorry.
that he runs
I'm
it
drunk.
with? I'm trying to remember who the guy he runs it with is, what the character's name is. It's mostly Sean Carter, Julie.
Well, we need to get the right people
Yeah.
involved, like because I don't know if
I feel I feel way too old to read
yeah,
for
Carter
Carter
is
anymore.
not you are not bringing energy to this character. So if he inspired you then, he's not doing it now. Either that
I
or
mean,
you're not.
Carter was a self insert for me back, God, 20 years ago. I'm just not that person anymore. I feel too old to be like, to.
Can you get in that mindset?
I'm trying to, but I am a little tired too. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we can take a pause and try it again. I had
but
I had a cool hat, like my Robert Graham like ball
I,
cap that would have been perfect for this character, but I can't find it. So I switched into this instead to
it looks pretty
see if
good to
it
me.
made a difference.
I think it makes a difference. I think it looks good. Yeah, I have I sold most of my Robert Graham stuff, but I still have my one bag that I kept.
Oh, I only had
I
the
love
one.
my Robert Grahams. I used to love my Robert Graham stuff. It's an embarrassingly over expensive thing to own, but still.
Is it something you could sell if you need to in an
Oh,
emergency?
it got torn up in
Oh.
storage, so no, I can't sell it. But I still like carrying it. I don't care.
Well,
So
maybe tomorrow we can get that demon game running.
yeah. So the Silent Planet is this nightclub that Carter started with, and a friend of his. It's little older. It's a married guy that's married with kids and stuff like that. And they in like that I think it's Scott. Yeah, Scott. Yeah, Scott's the one that co-owns the place. Or I don't know if I can't remember if they have him co-owner or if he's just like a small stakeholder in it or what. But like Carter spent most of his like youth like focusing on trying to like do things like that, like things that he was like really, because that's the way I was whenever I was younger. I didn't get into relationships and stuff. I was super hyper focused on trying to like do these things with my life and stuff like that. And that it's inspired by that. That's actually what happened to me. There was these four girls that I had either worked with or known in separate ways over the years, and I had never I had kind of like gotten close to dating each one of them at one point or another, and then I did actually see them. I did come out of a movie and did actually see them all outside the movie theater at the same time, and that's what sparked the whole idea for the script. I didn't actually go back and try to date each one of them, like in the movie, but
Oh, he ends up trying to date each one.
he asked each of them on. Yeah, that's all. It's kind of like I said. It's very similar to like I shamelessly ripped off the structure of High Fidelity, where like where like the John Cusack's character like kind of like goes through and contacts all of his exes to like to trying to figure out what happened, trying to figure out like what happened with his life and stuff like that. And so I ripped that off pretty liberally. But I don't think it's such a unique premise that it feels like plagiarism or anything. It's certainly not.
Wait,
He's
what did
certainly
it rip off? What movie
High
did you say?
Fidelity. High
Oh,
Fidelity.
and was this before or after you'd seen it?
It was after I'd seen it. Yeah, it had been a couple of years after I'd seen it.
Oh, okay. So you had that in mind when you wrote this?
Yeah, I mean, like this is the first thing I ever wrote. So, like whenever you're first starting out, you kind of like you're not necessarily like as I tried not to be too concerned with like how original the structure was and stuff, because structures aren't really like structures can be unique, and I'm really good with structure, and I've done some really advanced like complicated structure stuff, but like I just use the structure of High Fidelity as kind of a skeleton, just kind of like to hang the story off of. But it departs from High Fidelity very extremely. It's not very like it's really nothing like High Fidelity. It just uses that same basic thing of like someone going back and trying to like and revisiting these like almost ex-girlfriends kind of thing, and
Is this all
reevaluating
take place through flashbacks?
No, not really. There's
So
a
is this Silent Planet Club they're going to tonight? He and the friend are going there tonight, and that's where they start to meet some of these girls.
yeah, that's it. He invites Julie, who's the girl he had the
That's
most of a crush on.
the Southern slut.
Yeah,
drunk
that's
slut.
the one. That's the one he had the most of a crush on. That's the one he
Oh,
was
okay.
most most into.
I just randomly made her the drunk slut.
Oh yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
He was always he always
So
had the
she's
biggest
the
crush.
lead.
He had the biggest crush on Julie, but he ends up falling into more relationship with Christy, and it complicates from there. But
So he has the crush on Julie, but the
but
relationship
Julie's
develops.
not really. Julie's kind of
But he's not as hot for Christy.
he's not at first, no, but Julie's kind of flighty, and she's not really a very reliable person.
So he chooses substance over looks.
Ultimately, in the end, yeah.
Okay. And is that part of the conflict?
It's not really about looks, though. I mean, it's not like he's not attracted to Christy. It's just that Christy's just
average.
Christy just wasn't the girl that he was like he envisioned himself, being with. It wasn't the girl he was after. But it's kind of like I mean, God, like I mean, how many romantic comedies have done that? Like I mean, but I don't put her into the best friend role or anything like that. I don't turn her into a confidant or anything like that. So it doesn't turn into like the 16 Candles thing or anything. So at least I didn't.
Do we ever like end up with the person that we think is our ideal?
We don't. Yeah, that's something that I mean I did write this draft did come after I'd had a kid and had been married, so I had a lot of more perspective on life at this point when I wrote this draft.
Than you do now.
No, I mean like at the time compared to when I first wrote the very first draft. When I wrote
between the different drafts.
When I wrote the very first draft this, I was 19, and that whole thing had just happened. The whole thing came to me like I mulled over it for like a week, and then I just wrote it all in one night. and the very first draft I've lost. It's lost to time, but this is the only draft that still exists anymore. Yeah, it's actually got some. It's actually I think that this next sequence is actually pretty funny too. It like they
Is Sean okay? Is Sean still drunk at the nightclub? So he's playing. It looks like his band is playing.
yes, his band is playing. This is like days
Oh, I get to
later.
be in a band too. Cool.
This is days later.
Oh, okay. Is he still drunk,
I mean, you know,
or he's always drunk?
he's kind of like he's always kind of like some degree of like, you know, high or
Spastic.
drunk or something. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like Carter's focused on Julie, and then um, okay, so we can go to this next scene, I guess. Let's go ahead and go from
Oh
Solid
wait,
Planet Night.
I was at a totally different part of the script. Hang on. Yeah, the small crowd applauds as Carter grabs the microphone. So wait, Carter's what is he, like a host?
Yeah, he's doing like he's one of the, you know, he's one of the people that's running the place. So he's like, you know, hosting the night. You know, he's like
Oh, and then
introducing the band.
I'm one of the band. I'm part of the band that's
And
playing.
Sean is in the next band. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Sean's band is up next. And so let's give it for them one more time. And Carter comes in from the stage and goes to sit down next to Sean and a few others, including Scott, the oldest one of the group. As he starts to sit down, Carter sees Julie walking in from across the room. And Carter says to Julie, "Hey, you made it. Hey, you made it." He's like,
Oh, wait, hang on. Hey, Carter!
they hug briefly. Come on, we're all over here. So they sit down, and Carter introduces around to the table, and Sean leans over to him.
I'm talking to Carter. Hey,
Yeah.
Can I talk to you for a second?
And then we cut to the back room, like the backstage part behind where the band played,
and moving with purpose. And I'm standing at the door.
Yeah. Carter was like, "Hey, shouldn't you be getting ready to go on?"
I actually need to talk to you about that.
Shit, you fired your whole band again, didn't you?
The bassist.
That's always the basis. Brilliant.
He was classically trained and a prick.
Well, sure, whatever. What are you getting at?
Well, how about it?
Carter takes a second to realize what Sean means, but then he gets it. No, definitely not. No.
On, why not?
Because you've already fired one bassist today, and I don't want sloppy seconds when you start being a dick.
Come on, man, please. I won't fire you this time, I promise.
You have fired me 4 fucking times, dude. 4.
I actually thought it was way more than that.
And yeah, we cut back to this goes back to a flashback to them playing as children in a high school gym. Carter and Sean are playing in a band and for a talent show in front of the school. Carter plays bass while Sean plays guitar and sings. Everything sounds fine.
Let me get Frank out of my system. I can't do both. Okay, where are we? High school gym. What are we doing? Are we in high school?
No, it's a flashback. It flashes back to the first time that
the nightclub thing is real. The band was present day, and now we're in high school. Okay.
This is like a cutaway
in a
show.
talent show band. All right, I get it.
They're like children. They're like high school children. Like and
you're like, playing bass while I'm playing my guitar or singing.
Yeah, everything sounds fine. But Sean suddenly stops and turns to Carter with a fire in his eyes.
Fuck school. Fuck teachers. Fuck you, Mr. Jackson. And I don't want to hijack the whole script. I was just getting. I guess he's a punk.
Yeah.
Everything sounds fine, but suddenly Sean stops and turns to Carter with a fire in his eye. Wait, what? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Carter just looks confused.
Carter looks
Sean
confused,
rips,
and Sean rips Carter's
fired.
You're fired.
And then it cuts again to another instance.
Play together, same as before. We don't hear the music this time. The first thing we see and hear is Sean ripping the patch card from the bass. Stands up. Hey, just letting everyone know, Carter here, fired. And then I storm out of the shop. Man, I must have a temper problem. Carter and Sean sit in a bedroom holding guitars. This time, Sean gently unplugs Carter's bass. I'm sorry, man, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you go. Beat. Fired. And then you narrow your eyes at me for a moment.
And then it cuts back to present day. Back with
Okay.
Carter and Sean
I
talking.
don't know what that was surreal. I don't know what that has great cinematic potential, I believe. You could do something David Lynch with that.
And I think I'm forgetting one.
Another time he got fired?
Yeah, I think I'm forgetting one. And then Sean says, Sean just kind of says, yeah, Christmas. Anyway, so then it cuts back to like one final flashback. It's Interior Church night. They're playing music they're as children playing music for a Christmas pageant.
Oh no, not a Christmas pageant. Okay. We return to Carter and Sean's. Is this back at the nightclub? Oh wait, no.
This is
music
them
for Christmas.
Yeah, this is them as
Oh,
children.
this is Baby Sean. It's a B flat.
And child Sean pushes child Carter off of the stage, and then then we're back to
Ooh,
the.
This is a demon child. Dang.
We return to Carter and Sean's conversation.
At all?
Carter. I had to go to. I had to go to Christian children's therapy because of that.
He had no discipline, huh? You had what? You pushed somebody off a stage?
Yeah. Sean pushes him off the stage. Yeah.
No, but you, Chris. Oh, is that in the script?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were saying that you actually did that. Okay, this is right. See, the movie and reality are already starting to mix simply because of my own ADHD. Okay, say this. Do it again. We're back at nightclub.
So after it's a B flat, child Sean pushes child Carter off of the stage.
Okay,
and there's like a crash or whatever, and then and then we
were
cut
back in. You were back out of your brain in reality.
Yeah, and then so we return to Carter and Sean's conversation, and Carter says, "You know, I had to go to Christian children's therapy because of that."
I know, man. That was kind of a deep year for you.
Yeah.
But all that aside,
no.
Might impress Julie.
And Carter just shakes his head in resignation.
Does resignation mean he's giving in?
Yeah. Sean and Carter take the stage with Sean and Carter take the stage with Sean's band. They start playing and everything's going well, but Sean is starting to get the twitch in his eye. Sean tries as hard as he can to suppress himself, but he ultimately loses it. Sean stops playing and singing all of a sudden with a shout and turns towards Carter. Sean.
So wait, I gotta stop reading the comments. Wait, let me reset. They start playing. It's going well. Okay, so this is live at the club. The actual band that.
Yeah, this is actually that night. Yeah.
I'm starting to get a twitch in my eye. Sean tries as hard as he can to suppress it. What is going on here? What am I doing? Stops playing and singing all of a sudden with a shout. Fuck! 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 Fuck!
Fired?
Fired! But thanks for trying, man.
He should still scream. He should still scream like, but thanks for trying.
But thanks for trying. Man, I don't like
Sean walks off stage, still shouting, "You're a real friend."
What an asshole. You're a real friend.
Carter stands in motions with motions of 5 with his hand to the audience and the camera, and then walks off stage as well. Okay, so then we're back to Carter and Julie are walking and talking outside of the nightclub at night.
Why did you ask me to come tonight? I haven't seen or spoken to you in at least a year.
Well, when I saw you the other day, it just made me want to talk to you. That's all. Like, what have you been up to?
Oh, not much, except for getting engaged.
Oh, really? Great. Well, that's great. No ring yet, or?
No, I got one. Right here. See, you really didn't know?
Sorry, it cut out. No, but you're getting married, so congrats on that.
Were you actually asking me out on a date tonight? Son of a bitch, you finally asked me out.
Carter becomes extremely embarrassed. Yeah, I did. I did.
That is incredible. Horrible, horrible timing you have, though.
That I do. That I do.
Julie starts messing with. What does messing with mean? Acting coy. Wait, have you ever asked anyone out before me?
No, not really.
That, and I'm not joking or messing with you right now. That is just the sweetest thing. I swear, I'm flattered. I honestly, thank you.
Oh, don't really. She grabs him and
Wait.
hugs him for a beat.
Oh, let's see. They reach her car. Oh, so we're at her car now.
Yeah.
Have a good everything, Carter.
You too, Julie.
Okay. And are we back at the same club that same day?
Yeah, we're going back.
She
Yeah.
left. The girl he's into left. She's engaged and she's driving away.
And this isn't the same. This isn't the same night. This is the next day or a day later or something like this. This is just like this is the club during the day and like it's like a coffee shop during the day or whatever. So
all right.
So like he's just there like sitting on a sofa reading a magazine
at the perk. Okay.
Sure.
So Sean walks in with a concern about you or about himself.
Just a concerned look on his face.
Because you're sitting reading a magazine, and that's I'm concerned about that.
Yeah, but no, Carter's one suspicious.
Never read magazines.
No, Carter's one suspicious. He looks up at Sean like with like the look on his face, and he's like.
It says Sean walks in with the concerned look on his face.
And Carter's sitting on the sofa reading a magazine, not paying much attention, but he looks up and he sees Sean and with that look on his face, and he goes. Hey,
but is Sean concerned about Carter, or is he concerned about something else going on in his life?
Something else. Sean's very self-absorbed. He's not really.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Or was he concerned because he saw Carter on the couch by himself? He walked in concerned, so it's from the outside.
Sean,
all right, I got it. I got it now.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, what's up?
Oh, hey, man, how's it going?
Gone.
Yeah. Was Julie a bitch or something?
Nope. Engaged.
Bitch.
Yeah, well, I figure I might as well. Well, I figure I might as well call the other three, I guess. Satisfy my curiosity.
Sorry, man. I know you liked her.
It's cool.
What does beat mean?
This is another crisis call, though, isn't it?
Wait, who? I'm confused. Sean's crisis call or him?
Yeah, it's like Carter's like, it's cool, but he can tell that Sean's not really that concerned about him. And he's looking at him, he's going like, this is another crisis call from Sean again. This is like some other crisis.
Oh, Sean. Like Sean has the crisis.
Yeah. And yeah.
No, it's not like that.
So what is it like?
Oh, same shit, man. I just don't know what's wrong with me.
Dude, there's no trick to staying single. Most of us do it without even trying. Most people dream about having what you have with women.
Yeah, well, speaking of dreams, what has really got me messed up is this dream I keep having. It's some fucked up shit.
Oh God.
Just hear me out, all right?
Oh sure, because this is what my day was missing. Sean's wet dream story time hour.
Not really. This time they're just really messed up. They're all about this larger woman, but different.
Really, like an Amazon or something.
Hey, it's not funny.
Oh yes, it is. Your fat girl dreams are very, very funny.
Oh, all right, whatever. Look, well, like I said, it's real fucked up. This woman, she isn't really. I don't know. She's not really so much a woman as she's this huge fluffy blob. But in this dream, I know it's this chick, but at the same time, I don't know. You know?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so this thing is huge, and I can't even see its head, or if it even has a head. I only come up about a third of the way, maybe, and my arms can only spread against the front side. But it's like I'm getting the Bojangles on. You got me, and like kind of working it, like I'm kneading bread, man.
So then it cuts to like a Carter talking to the camera thing. It's like separate from this, and it says
like the modern day where he's narrating.
Yeah, it's like Carter looking disgusted, talking to the camera. There are some things that no man should know. Thanks to Sean, I learned all of them. And he actually said Bojangles in reference to sex, which is worth something, I think. And then it cuts to Jess's house. So Jess is the next
Now,
one
who's
that he.
Jess? Oh, she's one of the other girls.
Yes, one of
Do
their
you want to
girls.
stop here for tonight,
Yeah,
or
let's
do you
stop. Let's
want
stop
to
here
try
for
to
now.
do Jess? Because what's her
Let's-
character like?
She's actually kind of like, I think she's I can't really, I have to like
Is she
read through
the
it, but
Karen?
she's kind of butchy. She's kind of like a
So
butch
I made
girl.
the other one the Dyke. Should I have made Jess the Dyke instead?
Yeah, I think Jess is more like kind of like a one of the guys girls kind of things, like she's kind of like like a kind of girl that like, would like watch football and stuff like that. Alice is very quiet and mousy and it doesn't really have much. They don't really have much in common. And Christy and Julie are both like more typical female ingenue type characters. So,
Oh,
but this is
so
the only
should I not make Julie a drug slut? Should we make her more Julie?
Oh yeah, I mean, like we're just doing this for fun, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
She can be whatever she
I
wants.
mean, I am having fun.
I
Freak, you're
would
missing all the fun. We're reading his script. Come up and read.
if we were if I was doing this like as a serious casting thing, like I wouldn't want it like that. But I
Now, I will tell you, I'm finding it very hard to follow. So it is very surreal. It's definitely a Chris script, and I'm finding the comedy hard to follow. I'm not seeing the comedy in it.
Okay, well,
it's just like random scene, and some of that might just be brought out through like acting and characterization.
Some of it's going to be. I mean, it's got dramatic and romantic.
Like the big fat girl dream just now with the blob, and it looked like it was going somewhere, and then it just cut away.
Yeah, that was a lot longer in the original drafts, and I cut it down just to like and in the movie, like visually it might be something that could be kind of visualized kind of like in this hazy dream kind of way, where you kind of see some of Sean's dream kind of to a degree to kind of for comedic effect. But
I keep saying like a David Lynch.
Yeah, something like that.
Blobby,
yeah,
fleshy feet.
But in the older versions of the script, I described all that, but it seemed superfluous for the script itself because it just doesn't really it's one of those things that'll translate better visually, and it just doesn't come across as well.
DeFreak, what you fell asleep on 2 streams? What does that mean? You were on 2 different streams at the same time? Well, what we can do the Jess scene. She's kind of dykey, you said. I can
she's a little dykey, a little more mannish than the other ones.
I got.
So this is at Jess's house, and this is the only scene that Jess is in. By the way, this is like her only scene, besides the opening. So Carter and Jess are sitting on a couch watching a movie. It's ending. Jess.
We're reading his script, Moose. I'm playing the girlfriends, and he's playing his character. This is the Dyke one, so I got my cowboy hat on. Go ahead. Carter and Jess are sitting on a couch watching a movie. Jess turns to Carter.
So it sounds like you've got a big year ahead of you.
Yeah, I guess so. What have you been up to? What have you been up to besides being a big shot club owner?
Well, not much really.
Okay, let me not try to. I'll just tell her. You said she was a little tomboyish.
Yeah, she's more tomboyish.
Being a big shot club owner.
I mean, like these were all based on girls I knew in Texas, so I mean, they can sound like.
What have you been up to besides being a big shot club owner?
Not much really, just work and hanging out.
Well, I was really surprised that you called.
Yeah, I know. I should have called long before.
Maybe. Don't get me wrong. It's cool, and it's just weird when you see someone like that and say, "Call me." Maybe you mean it, but you never really expect them to do
it. Yeah, well, I guess I'm just happy to be here.
It is cool seeing you.
Thanks. It's good to see you too. Lately, for some reason, I started thinking about things like, who the right girl is and what makes one person worth knowing more than another person. And when I thought back on you, it just made me smile. So
that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did. Sorry about that.
Sorry, I'm reading comment. Don't apologize. Just answer a question for me, Carter. Are you saying after all this time that I'm that kind of girl?
Hey, now that's not playing nice.
What? What? Why not?
There's just no good answer to that question.
Sure there is. I'm sure you will figure out which is which.
I don't know. This is the first time I've hung out with you in a while, and
Calm down. I'm just fucking with you, dude.
oh, okay, good. That's good. That's good to know.
It's okay, Carter. I've always known you weren't really that into me. You had a thing for Julie.
You think?
Oh, please, not like it was any secret.
Really? Did she know that?
Oh, so you admit it now. You do.
Yeah, fine. I used to have a thing for her. So, is this what she thought?
She was never quite sure, but she thought that you did. Like, she liked you too, for that matter.
Huh? Yeah. It's just like me. I never realized.
And then I get up. Well, I'm already on the couch. I get up and get close to you. I thought we were already.
No. Carter stands up.
Oh, and then I get up too, and I like go up next
Yeah.
to you. Well, don't regret all that shit about staying focused on your goals. It worked. You're the most successful person your age that I know. Carter gets a little confused as to why she's so close to him. Why would he be confused? He knows why. People know why women get close.
Thank you. And then Jess grabs his crotch very suddenly, pushes him against a wall, and prepares to
Get to me, boy. So
what the hell are you doing?
Damn, this you sure this is a woman? What? Maybe you didn't know about Julie, but you knew I liked you a lot. You wouldn't even give me a pity date, but you know how much that hurt? I even made out with that friend of yours to try to get you to be jealous or something.
You made it with Sean to make me jealous?
You think I liked him?
I thought you were drunk.
Well, that too, but still, I want an apology and make it sincere.
For what? For not dating you? I didn't even know you were into me.
Oh, come on. Seriously? Were you really that clueless? And she is.
Yeah, yes, I was, and I'm sorry. I swear, I never really meant to hurt you.
Push him against the wall.
I really didn't know.
Really? Because at one point, I actually said, you know, I like you, Carter. We should go out sometime.
I thought you were joking. Oh, okay. You're right. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you, and I never meant to be insensitive to your feelings.
Well, okay, wait, where am I? Okay, I let up. Okay, balls released. So on one hand, you really were almost entire. You really were okay. So on one hand, you were really almost entirely oblivious to the whole of the female gender, and on the other, you were usually the one guy who all thought of us. Hang on. And on the other, you keep putting apostrophes in your words. That's what's starting.
You're right.
You were usually the one guy we all thought of as the most sensitive regarding women. You're fucked up.
You know, I really am sorry. I was an idiot, and you deserve better.
And then I smile, and I kiss you on the cheek. Yeah, well. I tap Carter on the crotch. You flinch, and I smile. Make sure you don't do it again. Damn, I would cross her off the list. I don't think she's the one for you.
Yeah. Well, that's her only thing. Anyway, so we can stop there.
I need to go to sleep too. I mean, I'm wide awake now, but okay. Yeah, we'll leave it here with the two of them. Yeah, I would like to get more people involved that have 4 or 5 of us playing different characters to get more of a sense of the potential for the script, because some of it I don't think is coming through for me.
Okay.
Movie wise and character wise, like
it's good. It's good feedback. I mean, like I really do think that it's a script that screenplays in general are like this too. I mean, in general, like a screenplay, you can't really get a good sense of it from just like reading part of it. Like, granted, if the first 10 pages don't hook you in, then it's probably
I
a
mean, I
bad.
got a sense of like a big old Texas woman throwing a guy against the wall and squeezing his balls for not wanting to date him in the past and stuff, which is interesting. But I'm not sure what the specific comedy points are. Although it does sound like there should be comedy in there somewhere.
It's more
This
it's
is
more like
Frank. This is Chris.
it's like uncomfortable situation. It's like like awkward comedy,
That
I
is
guess.
awkward. So like awkward comedy.
Yeah, and then it's there's a mixture between awkward comedy and like absurd stuff. Like the stuff with Sean is very absurd. The flashback. I mean, I personally think the little
Like the
flashback
fat girl, the blob lady.
and
That he was Bojangling.
the sequence of flashbacks of him firing him from bands as throughout their younger years. I particularly think that the sequence is funny, but
Probably so, right? I don't make good female characters with drag and all that stuff. I am not that kind of gay. Yeah, you got me laughing already too. Oh man, this was fun though. Like, yeah, I would be down for more of it.
yeah, no, we'll try to get some more people and try to do it.
And I could really hone in on one of the characters and start to.
Yeah, you're
develop.
doing great with Sean. Actually, I
Oh.
think you
Oh,
read
you
Sean
really?
well. Yeah.
I keep moving from stone to drunk. I really need to get his chemical state just right, and I definitely feel like I have the experience bank to draw on to do that.
Yeah, and of course, as it goes along, like it becomes much more about it's really there's a lot of the
But
major.
I'm going to tell you right now, if that's you are a drip. You got to get a more interesting character because you center this whole movie, and nobody's going to be interested in your encounters with women if you're as uninteresting as you were tonight.
Yeah, I know. I am tired. I'm not reading it with much charisma. I've got no riz at all right now.
Unless the anti-charisma is part of the humor in the joke. Like
No,
he's
he
so
should be more.
much of a-
He's supposed to be charismatic and more relatable than that, and I'm not doing a good job portraying it. I don't.
Is there anyone on the panel verse that could pull him off? Who
I don't
has
know.
charisma here? Does it flow?
Lib would be good. Lib could read him really well.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know about charisma. I think they more charisma than we got tonight for sure.
Yeah, definitely so. And in a better
And consistent. You kept dipping. You kept like going into these like dull like
yeah. In a less
and
tired,
Lib would at least keep it steady and energetic.
in a less tired state, I'd read it better too. I
Yeah.
can read it better, but I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
really.
the
I mean,
character is not sexy.
if you
Yeah,
do,
Busker could read for Sean.
yeah, Busker could read for Sean. Busker would be cool.
Perfect.
I'm gonna down for anybody.
Actually, many people on the panel. Sean would be the easiest to cast.
Yeah, probably so.
Who would make a good Lib for Carter?
In terms of people I can think of that like are regulars on our panel, yeah, I mean that's who has like.
And then what about women? Do we have any women or women adjacent?
I mean, we got Bex and we've got I could probably maybe that Lindsay girl could read for it or something. I don't know.
Lindsay could play any of the sluts easily.
Yeah.
And then is there one of the four women in particular that becomes the focus that we need to?
Christy, yeah, Christy. I definitely think that like Lindsay or Bex.
And there's got to be a role for Cynthia too. She could be the drunk slut.
Sure, she could be. I mean, there really isn't a drunk slut per se. I guess.
That came from Frank. Sorry. And now that it's in my brain, it's in the movie. Sorry, Frank. You really are a good troll. You script doctored our whole movie. So okay, she's not a drunk slut. All right.
And for that matter,
but we do have that. Like we do have the one. Like that takes some. whatever the female version of balls is, to grab yours and throw you against the wall and start twisting and squeezing just because you didn't date her in the past. Like that's some heavy BPD, vengeful, grudge holding, masculine stuff from that
Yeah.
character. Jess, was that her name?
Yes, yeah. And that that
So
scene
who on the
didn't
panel would be good at her?
I don't know.
I mean, I have a few names, but I don't want to throw them out and start drama.
Yeah. I mean that
We need
scene
a real ball
didn't
bust.
that scene didn't happen to me with like the
Could Joe
balls
Cool
thing.
do Sean? He'd make a great Sean.
He could do Sean. Yeah. Sean could be black for that matter. Like
Or I could do
I'm
Sean as Joe Cool. Let me
I
pull
always
that
I always
script up.
I always
Right.
write my characters characters as colorblind. I always write them so they can be played by any race. I never write them for
Let's
specific
try
races.
Sean as Joe Cool.
Moose could also read for Carter. I think Moose has a good voice for Carter too.
Yeah, yeah, he could. The thing that we're missing from Carter is personality. So whoever does Carter would really have to bring it. All right, here's
And
Joe
he's
Cool.
also he'd be a very visual character too. He'd be a character that would talk with his hands a lot. He'd be very animated and everything. And so it's gonna not come as off
Who,
as well
Carter or
as
Sean? Or both
Carter.
of them need to be.
Carter would be a very like
This morning it's weird. Like days, man, just go funny when you start drinking in the morning and it takes you places. No, I don't know if Joe Cool would make a good Sean. I think a lot of the dialogue would get lost. And I'm not the person that pull it off because I just made myself cough and choke just trying to do that one part, which I guess is doing Joe Cool.
I'm actually I started outlining this new idea for like the panel verse type movie thing like last night some, and I'm actually a lot more excited about taking this direction than I was with the horror film direction. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to do the horror
I
film
think
thing at all.
comedy is definitely the way to go with this crowd, and
Yeah,
tragic comedy.
I like the idea of being able to take something like like the idea of like a various people in the panel verse and like what would happen if they suddenly had like the spotlight, like media spotlight on them, and how like these kind of
We could do that. I've seen that when I just do this to some people, I get a reaction.
yeah.
We could like randomly spotlight different people. We could even have scripted characters where we just.
I mean, well, the idea is just like
or singing
it'd be
their
like
little song.
it was like the whole idea came from I was just like I was like just kind of like daydreaming or something like that. I was like, it'd be really weird if like somewhere like way down the road like a clip from like our Buck Angel podcast or something, like if like a clip from that for some reason like went viral, and like that clip went viral and suddenly like we were
Can
like,
you manufacture virality, or is it something that just kind of like to be
just kinda
authentically viral? It kind of just has to happen.
It just kind of has to happen, exactly. Which is like kind of the idea. Like it was kind of like like so any one little like any one little clip like that, if we had like that had a fairly fairly notable face or name in it, could like could suddenly.
I think we're notable.
Hmm?
Like I think any of us that go viral, if we're going viral, we're going viral for something that is inherently notable. Otherwise, we wouldn't be going viral.
Right.
So at the point we go viral, we become notable at that point.
Right. Yeah. And then like just the fallout of like dealing with that, and like I just like my mind just started going like what like how that would change things, and how like it would like like there would be like all these
I would
like
just be happy if we could get 200 something more subscribers.
Right, but what can you imagine if like if you were like one of these channels like it's happened to some people, and this has happened before in on YouTube, somebody who literally was a nobody creator, had nothing, had one video that went super viral, and suddenly they went from having like 1,000 subscribers or less to having like 3 million overnight,
Watched PFU climb up pretty rapidly.
But he climbed up really steadily though. I mean, he didn't have like a
no, there were big leaps, like when he hooked up with McCullough and other times there were discrete large steps.
Yeah, okay, I see that. But I mean someone who goes from basically nothing to like a million
But
over a
I
million.
don't even want to grow until because I'm still in the experimental stage where I'm trying to figure out
Yeah, me too.
final form.
I don't
When
want
I
that to
actually
happen.
have something to offer the world, like we have all of our support shit and community stuff and up and running and ability to do events and fundraisers and like then I'm ready for the world. Like I don't want to go viral and get caught with my panties down before we're even ready to go viral. I want
Yeah,
it to
no,
be when we actually have
absolutely.
something worthy to offer the world.
Absolutely. That's kind of like the premise that I was going with though was like, you know, whenever people become kind of like super famous overnight in a way without, you know, before they're ready, before like, you know, like how do you deal with that? How do you deal with like that sudden, like the sudden spotlight of like the media and everything? You know, like what if, you know, suddenly like, you know, something like that happened like and we got invited on to like, you know, suddenly you get invited to like to do an interview with Ben Shapiro or something and or then you end up on like
Is that considered famous? Like when we get Ben Shapiro level of guest?
or something like that, and that could lead to like being on Fox News or something. You could suddenly be
I
a
still
face.
like your idea of making the media, getting appearances on other medias other than streams,
Yeah, I want to do that too.
magazines, TV appearances, um, what else? Radio spots, stuff like that, to get the public curious about what is this Outliers in Exile thing that we keep seeing. Who are these characters that keep popping up? Who is this Chris Satyricon guy? Where can I find him? Oh, it's on YouTube. What's that about? I like that. And it made me think, okay, let me tell you this story. Back in Vegas, when in like 2001, we had all these roommates, and one of them stayed in his room and lived on his computer. He was a little gay guy. And he was on the ICU camera network, and he had these camera people he would talk to. And he had this is when Dear Diary was popular. And he kept a Dear Diary page. And he eventually became the most top rated page on Dear Diary for a while. And all of America was following his story. And he kept this camera network going. He'd do all these camera chats with people all over the country. And he eventually became this commentator on CNN where he would call in by video and comment on like political stories and issue. He was called an eye reporter. And this was all like back in the 2000s. He was finding a way. I forgot he did all this. He was doing like Panoverse type stuff with the technology of the time back then. And because he was one of the few people doing it, somehow he got on CNN's attention and they kept using him to call in and give his political opinions because he had built up this like camera network and Dear Diary network. So when you were talking about that, it reminded me of it's been done before by people that I know in like decades ago with less
Yeah,
technology than we have today.
yeah, it has. I mean, it's not something. It's actually something that's fairly common in the internet age. Like people have had. I mean, of course, it's a. I mean, it's kind of an age old story. Like, I mean, you can even go back to A Star Is Born and shit like that. All those movies and stuff like that are about the same kind of basic thing. You know, someone who's thrust into fame, you know, with before they're ready, and
We
you know,
need
like
somebody that lives in New York City or near New York City that can go in front of the Today Show in the morning where they hold up the signs, the posters,
they still
and
do
like
that.
make a sign for Outliers in Exile and be real cute, maybe wear some antlers or something and be out there in the Today Show and getting people curious about what is this Outliers thing.
And I also like the fact that like with this premise, like we can start it out as like all the first couple of few. I want to do it as an episodic thing, and the first few episodes, if we can do them right, they can be all like on screen, just like within the panel type space. You know, they can all be like panel screen stuff, and then as like the idea grows, if we get more attention, stuff like that, and we can actually get like, you know, actually make some connections with it, then we could actually, you know, create these, you know, like fictional appearances on these other shows and stuff like that, and you know,
Oh yeah,
you
like
know,
on like on Real Show. Not even we could even do like guest spots on TV show, like on sitcoms,
yeah.
be extras.
Yeah, stuff like that. And
We
just
could be a guest judge on RuPaul.
yeah, there you go. And it just and I just want to I started thinking about it really deeply though, and started thinking about like a lot of the I really really want to do an Andrew Wilson character. I would actually like to have Andrew Wilson play an Andrew Wilson. I wonder if Andrew Wilson would do it, if he would be self-aware enough to play basically almost like a slightly exaggerated version of himself, because I could totally see him as being like this character who's kind of like this kind of like a he's kind of already semi-famous, and he's kind of like a dick to like like the characters like he's like tries
I
to get
wonder if
give
Paul
advice.
would do it.
Oh, I bet Paul would do it for sure. I could definitely get a role for Paul. Do a role for Paul. I want to pull Machine Lies. I want to pull everybody into it. I want to make a metaversal
Yeah, I like
panel-verse
that
movie.
idea. Like instead of the Marvel verse,
Mm.
the panel verse, and
I
we're
mean,
the
we'll all have fictional pseudonyms, but we'll be basically playing ourselves.
we're the new drag queens. I think for the like the teenage girls can have the RuPaul characters, and we can create characters for the new generation that are not into RuPaul.
Yeah.
But that's what like all these drag queens create a character, a personality, and they get a following. They get Instagram. They go on RuPaul. They go to these conventions. They have thousands and thousands of fans that like see something in them and relate to them. This is like beyond Andy Warhol, where you get 15 minutes of fame. Fame is so abundant now. Anybody can get it anytime they want it from just turning on their computer.
Well, I figure
It's not even a commodity anymore. We're gonna like exhaust fame as a concept to where it's not even. We're gonna do the same thing with fame that I did with gay. It's not even gonna be an interesting thing anymore. It's gonna be so boring. I'm gonna take the excitement and glamour out of fame.
Well, I just figure
I can't think of anything more satanic.
If we can't achieve like big panel goals like on our own, we can just fictionalize them and then dramatize the fictionalization of our own getting famous and then
Peak
get
fame.
famous
When Jeff
from that.
and Chris have become famous, then fame has worn itself out. That is when we have reached peak fame.
There's this hilarious show. I have it on the Plex. I have it on the server. I don't know if you would like it that much or not, but it's called Nirvana the band. Is Nirvana is spelled wrong with 2 N's too, and it was a show it's this Canadian show, and it's but these two Canadian guys that have a band that they call Nirvana the band, and they keep trying to get gigs at these places, but they've never even played a show or an instrument or anything before. They've never even bothered like trying to write music. They're just obsessed with getting these shows, and like all the episodes are all like them like doing elaborate schemes to try to get a gig
without having any songs to play.
Yeah, it's really funny. It really is.
I think that's how Susie and the Banshees actually got started. They signed up to play this punk festival, but they didn't actually have songs or even barely a band.
That's how my first band started.
They just kind of winged it on stage. That's how she ended up doing like the Lord's Prayer. Like the band jammed and she recited the Lord's Prayer, and they booed her off the stage. They thought it was so horrible, and that energy excited her so much that she stayed on the stage and she fed off of all of that booing and just kept going and going and going with it.
There is something to that. I mean, like the very first band I was ever in, I literally there was this guy I knew that we had talked about trying to start a band, but we had never actually gotten to go to practice or anything. And he was like, "Hey, there's this rally coming up for the high schools, like in Texarkana, they have this big like there's a big rivalry between Texas and Arkansas side, because it's Texarkana it's a border town between Texas and Arkansas. So Texas High and Arkansas High have a big rivalry, and they do one big football game a year where they both play against each other, right? And so like the week leading up to that tends to be like this big like thing of like where there's all these pranks and all these like things, and things get kind of out of hand and like stuff like that. So there's like this like peace rally kind of thing. There was like this rally for peace that was going to be right downtown on on the border, like right in the border between Texas and Arkansas, and we were in these steps and stuff like that. And he was like, "There's this show that I booked us a gig," and I was like, "Booked us a gig? We have never played a we've never even played together. We so we got together and practiced like 5 songs. We just made up 5 songs like in
That's
like a
enough.
day.
If you're a band, I would think that's gig worth. I'd be like, we practiced 5 songs. Let's go get us a gig.
I mean, we did that within 3 days. Like we had like 3 days to get ready. We
Yeah,
had to
that's
get
how
together
the
in like 30.
punks did it. Like the
Yeah.
punks and the new waiver and the no waivers.
I brought like all the songs we had were all songs that I'd written that I barely had half written. I couldn't barely play guitar.
Well,
I
you're
only
very
really could sing.
prolific, as we have seen.
And I wrote a song the other morning. I woke up the other morning and wrote the goofiest song I've ever written in my entire life. It's a song it's a song that the idea for it came to me like ages ago. It occurred to me as like a song that could probably go viral if it was done right. But it's like
Well, let's do it right. Make it go viral. We got John.
It's so cutesy and so dumb and so like it's such a cute.
Yes, dude, you're sitting on gold.
It's a song. It's literally it's a song that it's like it's supposed to be sung for a girl saying like won't you be my Obi-Wan Kenobi? Won't you be my only one? It's the chorus.
Did you do the music and everything for it?
Oh yeah, I wrote the whole. And one more. Like it was like 5 days ago. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and like the song was just like in my head, and I hadn't thought about it. I came up with the idea for it like 10 years ago.
Maybe that was your like your brain or God or whatever getting you out of your situation. Maybe this is your answer.
Yeah, I would play it on stream.
Did you compose the music as well, like on
I
Garage Band or whatever you use?
I haven't recorded it yet, no, but I fully wrote out all the lyrics and tabbed them all out with like the right chords and everything, and worked out the entire song from beginning to end. Like,
and then you make some cute little video to it. You could even use Panelverse clips.
Yeah. It's a really dumb Star Wars, which I don't even like. I'm not even like that big of a Star Wars person, but like
I'm already excited about it.
But it's just like, would you be my Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Like the Time Lord song.
Be my only one, because you are my only hope, and I'm at the end of my rope. So won't you be my Obi-Wan Kenobi? And those the lyrics are the verse lyrics are a little bit more.
It sounds like something They Might Be Giants.
It's so cutesy. Like I remember I came the day I remember the day like it first occurred to me was like 10 years ago, and I remember like I remember playing. I was so embarrassed just to even play like the beginning of it for Lindsay at the time. So that's all I had was just that one verse, that chorus part. And I was like, Lindsay, look, I wrote the most disgustingly cute thing that anyone's ever written, and I played it, and she was like, you need to write it out. That people would like that. That would be a big hit. And I was like, I can't do it. It's too embarrassing. Like, how could I possibly ever perform this? This is like, it makes me feel like ashamed to have written it.
You don't have to perform it. You just have to make a cute video to it. It could be animated.
I just need
to be in it.
It needs like a cute tiny little girl to sing it, like just some tiny little cute girl to sing it. Yeah.
But it came in your brain for a reason. Don't waste it.
I won't. I mean, I wrote it all out. It's all ready to go now. I just have to find the right vocalist. I fully intend to find a vocalist for it and record the whole thing out. I mean, I'm gonna do it. I just have to find. I mean, I might just get Lindsay to sing it for now. She's kind of embarrassed.
We're trying to have it be successful. I said I would offer, but we want it to be successful. There's been enough
it needs to have a cutesy girl voice. If it doesn't have a cutesy girl voice, it will not. It will sound.
Who's the cutesiest girl voice on the panel so far?
Shit, I don't have a lot of real.
I don't really know. I'm trying to think.
Bex has a cute voice. Bex has a cute voice.
She's Canadian. She has that, and doesn't she have performing?
Yeah,
It's
she
very
does. She has performing experience. She might do a good job singing it. Yeah, I mean, if she'd do it, I don't know. I'd have to ask her. But I can't think of it. I can't think of too many other people. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
There aren't that many women that come on the Panelverse regularly. I mean, Cynthia has a good voice, but her voice is a little deeper, and it needs to be someone that's kind of a little
It's
bit
not
like,
girl cutesy.
yeah.
It's more like mother,
Bex has a really high pitched
matronly.
kind of cutesy voice, you know, like, and I think that she might work well for it. Might try her.
Okay.
I
What
just have
about
to.
Lily?
Well, he doesn't have a girl's voice, so.
I was trying to be inclusive.
No, I mean, like, you know, by all means, but but even he knows he doesn't have a girl voice, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll figure out a way to get that that recorded out, and like and then we'll
Could be
premiere
our
it on the
first
show.
production.
Yeah.
Outliers production.
Maybe I'll make up a whole fake band for it and everything. I'll make a whole fake band of like, you
Oh,
know.
that name the other day I said that would make a good band name. Did I write it down? Brutal Chaos. The Feral Boys. No, it was something cunts.
It needs to be a
It was in
cutesy band name.
the comment. Oh fuck! What? It started with a S. SC. Was it Frank that said it? I thought I had written it down. God. Oh well.
I think of good band names all the time.
The Malicious Concert. Oh, Heinous Ain't. No, was it Heinous Anus?
Heinous Anus, yeah, Heinous Anus. That was one of them.
The Malicious Concert, something like that. God damn.
It was Heinous Anus, I'm pretty sure, but
we could use Heinous Anus. Is that?
That's it's not for this song. Like this song, I'd have to use something.
Oh,
like
I thought you meant for the band. Well, that would make it even funnier if it was this cutesy little pop song by a band called Heinous Anus.
or Vicious Cons.
Yeah.
That is funny. That is very funny, actually. You're right. There's some viral potential in that, maybe. I was gonna go with something really hipstery and artsy sounding, like that. Like I said, like my favorite like accidental band name I ever came across was because I actually hit the microphone button on my remote on my TV one day, and it just happened to capture, like, I don't know, like some words that me and Lindsay were talking about, and it started trying to do a search on the screen, and the search that it came up with from what it heard was bikes, comma, and the painful right now, and I was just like,
I
that's
love
the most. That was like the most amazing name I've ever heard.
It would. It really would.
Bikes and the painful right now is like it's the most amazing name for a band I've ever heard.
Or did you have it written down? So I'm gonna just jot it down, just so.
No, it's written down, and
I'm gonna write Chris. What? Okay, so bikes. Say it again.
Bikes and the painful right now.
Bikes. That would make a good name for a girl. Bikes.
Hey, yeah, and we've
character named Bikes,
and that could be Bex's like pseudonym for like the band. That could be her band name.
Bikes,
she's Bex, so she could be Bikes, you know. I don't know. The only other girl that has a really good cutesy voice that I can think of in the panel versus Sarah.
Who?
Mindfucked.
Is that Telepathy Sarah or Sarah? They both have mindful shit in their names.
The one that goes by Mindfucked usually in the chat, and she's usually Sarah on the panel.
Long hair Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
She's got a sweet voice. She's got a really soft, mousy voice. I don't know if she'd sing, but I feel like Bex could sing, though. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know. I used to and that's the thing. Like, I used to know more women than I used to know.
I know plenty of female musicians. During COVID, I used to be part of this open mic group, and a lot of them were Canadian, but they were all woke, and we stopped talking to each other because of the political stuff. It was sad. We were this happy little group of neurodivergent, a lot of us are artists and creative people that were getting together during COVID to write and do music and all kind of stuff, and then the George Floyd happened, and the Beverly D'Angelo book came out, and all of a sudden there was this huge political divide that tore that community apart.
That's kind of something I wanted to do in like in the show too, is like, you know, like as like the characters, like they gain fame and stuff like that, and so like they start having to deal with all this like all this political shit, like all this like internal political shit, you know, like like people being woke and people like, you know, getting buying into this and that.
I was thinking more like the Real Housewives of the Panelverse.
Well, I could think we do that too.
I think we already have something close to that.
Yeah, I think I think that might be a little bit too close to real life. It's not. No one will believe it because it's too real. I think if you just told, I think if I just like tried to explain like what the Panelverse is like to like an outsider that has no, they wouldn't believe a word of it. They'd think I was making it all up. I don't think they'd believe that any of this shit
And the
was
thing
real.
is, anybody could turn on YouTube and see it for themselves.
Yeah, I know.
They can just see what it is.
But just from the description alone, just from the description, how I'd have to describe it alone, it would. I don't think people would believe that it was real.
Is there a physical location that's similar to it, like not a bar, not a pub, but that you could analogize it to, and say it's like a virtual version of that?
I don't think there is.
Or is it something that only exists uniquely in cyberspace?
I don't know, an AA group.
It's like maybe an AA group, but
like it mean like, or it's like any kind of Addicts Anonymous type of group. Like if in this case, it's like Drama Addicts Anonymous or Panel Addicts Anonymous. You know.
Oh God.
That's like the closest thing I can think of. It may be like a Sex Anonymous group, Sex Acts Anonymous, because everyone's so like, you know, everyone seems to like commingle and like nobody actually has sex, but like it's all like this, like all these people, they're all addicted to the same thing and they're all in the same place, and so they all feed off each other instead of like getting any help.
But without the outlet of actually having to being able to physically pursue things.
Yeah.
All this drama builds up. Some of it you think could be erotic frustration?
Maybe for some people, not for me.
Unfulfilled erotic frustration that never has the potential of being fulfilled. So it plays itself out as drama. I think the drama would happen anyway.
I think it would happen anyway too. But I think there's definitely an element that to some of it with some people. I see that definitely like amongst certain like type of things.
That is all the exact stuff that I never pick up on. That is so invisible. They could be almost having their genitals inside of each other right in front of my face, and it would barely register that there's something sexual going on here. I'm so impaired in that area. I
mean, honestly, with the way the Panelverse works, it's almost more intimate than sex in a lot of ways.
Oh, definitely for me.
Sex would be like
I spend a lot less time on the dating sites now because it's the same old people, and the Panelverse at least has an interesting mix and variety of people.
What I think would be fun about doing a show like this too is like it would kind of be a kind of a cool way to introduce the rest of the world to what the Panelverse is, you know, because it's like you'd actually be able to dramatize and show like what the Panelverse is.
And here's where I think the potential is. Yes, what the Panelverse is, and its entertainment value, but the potential of that it's not just entertainment. It's not just YouTube. It's not just something you sit and watch. There's so much more potential untapped that I think even like existing things like schools, mental health facilities, community groups, like anything could the Panelverse has potential for anything. You could be like a corporation and like set up a stream around your product or something where you have these facilitators that guide conversations about and different customers come and like you could use this model for anything. There's so much untapped potential. So if we can show what it could be used for our interest, mental health, arts, creativity, etc. So it's not just showing the Panelverse as it is now, but it's somehow presenting this as the future, as the new medium, as a potential new trend. And we're at the beginning of that trend. Like we're at the before the
100 and 300%. Yeah, I completely agree. That was kind of, that's what, like, because like the idea of, I still want to do like the horror thing too, but like the idea of doing it just didn't seem like, to me seemed like it was a little reductive, and I feel like there's so much
my
more
whole
to
problem with
explore.
all of that is we didn't have the team. Like you and I were excited about it, but if we had a little team from the start to role play, troubleshoot, play test, that kind of stuff, I think something would have emerged different than it was just the two of us trying to get something off the ground.
Yeah, plus I'm actually I'm a lot more inspired by this idea, and I'm actually I think I'll actually get some pages written for it pretty soon. So some pages written will once people can see, and it'll be short as opposed to like my script reading, which is like, it's 90 pages or 89 pages, something like that. I plan to keep like the episodes like to like
We could do like serialize it and do like a little bit each day and end on a cliffhanger so that people tune in the next day.
exactly. That's exactly the idea. Do a serialized like episodic show. And so like writing out like a 20 pages, 20 page, like, a 20-page script isn't really that big of a deal. And just create like a little, and that's a little thing that, like, people, and plus it's made to be on the panel on the screen type thing. So we don't have to worry about trying to do, like, we don't have to worry about trying to get cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it can all be performed like just on the panel, and then as it grows and moves on, then we can add in, like external shots from like within the characters' real lives and stuff like that, where like,
We
there's more
could get
going on.
shots from Norway.
Absolutely, yeah. We can get shots from anywhere. We can have our characters travel to anywhere we want to. We can have our characters do whatever we want them to do if they're our characters. Um, I know it excited me in a way that none of the other
What if
ideas had excited
we
me.
started out? We recruited a little group that's interested in and has the time commitment, and start with like a role play model, and have each person either be assigned or develop a character that they want, a fictional character that they want to insert into this movie project, and then they can start like getting local footage that represents that character, start getting costumes and wardrobe that represent that character, etc. But if we get a little group together and start at least assigning characters, it gives people something to work on at their leisure, where it can kind of emerge as we
I like
do
that
it.
idea. I like that idea. I like that a lot.
I'll even start thinking of a character of my own. So and we're talking about not the script movie, but this would be like a new fictional project.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I mean, there is going to be a script, but at the same time, like, I mean, I want us to base our base characters on ourselves. I mean, I think, your character you're not going to be named Jeff, but you're still going to be like, Satanist, gay, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so we want to base the characters as much on ourselves as possible,
Yeah,
like
I think
not
so.
some
I
drunken
think
slut
because I
character.
think, I mean, what's more interesting than you as you are, Jeff? Like, I can't think of a more interesting version of Jeff than Jeff. Like, I just can't think of one. I've tried to think of one.
I think I'm somewhat interesting.
I was
I think
thinking of
I'd
this
be
the other
way
day.
more interesting if I had a character to play. I think part of my weakness is I don't have I have negative charisma. I don't have a strong personality because I don't have a strong persona because I don't ever play a character. And there's people that have like a very specific personality that they build and develop and take out into public. And I don't have any of that. So I think that
I
makes me
think
less
you're wrong about
interesting. And
that.
I'd be more interesting if I had one of those.
I think you're wrong
Like
about that.
like a particular brand that I'm known for that quirky personality.
Well, I mean, maybe so, man. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. But I disagree. I think that your natural personality is actually very. I think you have a lot of natural,
Well, the
a lot of
numbers say
natural riz.
otherwise, my friend.
Hmm?
I said the numbers say otherwise, but go ahead.
Well, but that's because we don't have the exposure though. We don't have exposure yet. Getting exposure is like the hardest part of any of this stuff. And the one thing that my dream my whole life has always been to make movies and stuff like that, and to make this kind of stuff. So we might as well use the panel verse itself,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
um, to both boost the panel verse and also kind of achieve some of our dreams at the same time. Just try to like hit it from that's where my whole a plague of errors things comes from. It's like the whole idea is that
I thought it was your life.
but no, the idea of a plague of arrows was like a philosophy thing of mine, of like that if like trying to hit a single target with a single arrow is difficult, but if you have like 300 arrows all flying for the same target, one of them is bound to hit.
I thought it was like a reference to the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
That would have been much more intellectual and smart of me, but unfortunately, no.
Like you were being hit by a plague of arrows. Either that or you were a plague of arrows for someone else. Like if they fuck with you, they will find out. They will be.
It was more like my philosophy to try in art and everything was to attack with a plague of arrows.
Is it like an ADHD thing, like a whole bunch of angles at once? Or
Well, have you ever seen like in like a Lord of the Rings, like the scenes where like all the archers, like they all aim their arrows in the sky, and then there's that shot of like all those arrows, like they just look like like a bunch of black flies like flying towards the fortress or whatever, right? And it looks like a swarm of insects like heading towards like their target, right? That's where the image came from. It was like a plague. It looked like a plague, like a plague of locusts, but arrows like all heading at the same thing. Like like even if like 80% or like say like 95% of the arrows don't hit anything, at least 5% of the arrows
are
are going to
you
hit
the
something.
archer, or are the arrows headed at you?
No, I would be the archer.
That's what I didn't get. I thought it was you were they were all heading at you.
Plague of Arrows was like
Or that you were directing them at another person out of
not like another person.
anger or
Like,
revenge, but not like, that it was aimed at a target. Like it was a way of meeting a goal.
It's a way of meeting a goal, yeah. It's a way of trying to hit everything from every angle every angle you can, in order to that way you're guaranteed to hit something, as opposed to just trying to like focus in on like just trying to like focus in with it's probably just a product of my ADHD brain, just like I'm so scattered and everything all the time anyway, so it's just like might as well hit it with everything at once. Here goes everything.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Now that I understand it that way.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the idea of that's where like that's the reason why I've stuck with a plague of arrows for years and years as my. I
thought it was a plague of sparrows for the longest time. That's what I kept calling you before you switched to Chris as your name.
Yeah, no, I
like a plague of sparrows.
Yeah, that's kind of cool too. It is kind of cool. It's kind of cool too, because like that's kind of a frightening concept in itself. Like just like literally, I've actually seen like a flock of sparrows like flying, like I'm flying south, and like you see like whenever they're flying overhead, they're so dense and so massive. It does look like a plague. It looks like some sort of like swarm of bees or something, because they're very small, but they're they're high up in the sky, and it's just like a black cloud that flies over things. They can briefly block out the sun.
Wow, sparrows can.
Yeah, I've seen flocks of sparrows like so dense and so thick that they block out the sun for a few minutes, like with like great clouds, like dark spots,
For minutes?
Not for minutes, but for a few for a few seconds,
Oh.
Or like it would just like you'd like be in your car and like it would like you would get dark and you like look out and see there's a cloud and it would just be like this flock of birds. And it's usually sparrows. Like you can tell they're sparrows just because of the size of them, as opposed to like crows or pigeons or something like that, where like they're usually more spread out. But sparrows fly in very tight formations. They fly they're very small, so they fly very close together. And they do that partially to keep away predators because they look like a large menacing. They look much more like a large
They
menacing.
actually fool animals.
Yeah,
Like, that's a giant creature coming toward us, not a bunch of birds.
That keeps them from like because if one of them breaks off from like the pack, kind of like the same thing that happens to like zebras and stuff in the wild. You know, if, like there's one zebra that kind of wanders away from the rest of the zebras, like that's the zebra that gets eaten. You know, so that happens and that happens with sparrows.
How do
too.
they end up doing that? Like, I would just make sure I was not wandering. Do they just lose focus?
I guess so. I don't
Like,
know. I mean,
notice that did the herd lead them or did they wander? That would be scary.
I mean, like sparrows are weird creatures, and like they're the ones that fly south to Capistrano every winter. They literally
Oh,
go.
right. No, that's the swallows.
The swallows. Okay, I think you're right.
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I know about the
maybe
swallow.
Maybe I'm thinking of
sparrows
swallows.
are the little tiny.
Yeah, they're very tiny. But they do. I do know that sparrows are the same thing. But I was thinking of swallows. About the migration thing. The swallow.
Right,
like, that's always freaked me out. Like the whole idea of like they just have like this instinctual thing where no matter where they are in the world, no matter where they are from, at a certain time of year, they all get together and they all fly to this one specific location. And they just do that instinctually. Like
That's the power of genetics.
Yeah.
That's why people that think nature doesn't play that big of a role or that social influence is strong and can override nature very easily. Like you can show a commercial to most people and it'll have this one effect. It's because of stuff like that. Just in the animal kingdom, how much it's controlled by instinct.
Yep.
In fact, humans are one of the few, in fact, I think maybe the only, where we're not as wired. We have that ability to learn and adapt from the rest of our species. And so each human can be taught what it needs to be for that time and place by other humans. And I don't know if other animals even do that. And
the only ones that come close are like are octopus, dolphins, and crows.
They pass on information.
Yep, crows especially. Crows are creepy in that sense. Crows literally like they have about an adult crow can have about the same intelligence as a third grader. It can do pretty intense problem solving. It knows how to use tools like a monkey can. It can use like sticks and stuff with its beak to try to dig stuff out of stuff like that. It can use and they definitely pass on memory to their young.
Yeah, they said they never forget a face, and they can communicate it to other crows. So like if you throw a rock at a crow and hit it, it's not going to forget who you are. It can tell other crows that you did it.
What was that? Who was that was on the stream that was talking about the bird story thing?
Oh, the bird story. Hang on.
That was a cool story. I can't remember now, but anyway, yes, it's kind of like that.
It'll come to me. They wanted to come on the stream because it was a Jack's Law. It was Jack's Law. What was the bird story?
Was it Jack's Law? Was Jack's Law or
Yeah.
King Philip? I couldn't remember which one.
I think it was Jack's Law. And but I'm trying to remember the actual bird story. It was something.
No, I remember the story fine. I remember he was walking by this group of birds one day, and this one little bird just for some reason took a fancy to him and started kind of following him around a little bit, and then
then it got really weird at the end. It took a surreal turn.
because Mormons came by. because the Mormons
Oh,
came by.
yeah, okay.
And he had these birds that were all just like sitting around him and just hanging out with him and stuff. And the people were just like, the Mormons were just like freaked out. They were like, what's up? And so they kept they kept coming back with more Mormons to look at the bird guy. It's one of the best.
This is
It's one
good
of the
the
best.
second time
It's one of the
around.
best
That's how
panel
you know
stories
it's a
I've
good
ever heard.
story.
One of the best panel stories I've ever heard by far. I mean, I don't even. I mean, I think I believe every word of it, but at the same time, if it turned out that he made it all up, I'd still be like, bravo.
No, but do you
bravo.
remember that? Do you remember his bite marks story?
I don't remember the bite mark story. No.
I love Jack's. I love Jack. Yeah, he was giving us advice on how to pick up women, and he told me to find a hot woman and like if she's going on the elevator or something, and tell her like, "Is that bite marks on you or something?" And then he gave me the rest of the conversation. If she said no, what to say to her, and it was hilarious. Like it's one of the hardest I've laughed on the panels at all. My
I think
sides
I
were hurting.
was there for that. Fuck, I
Yeah,
forgot
you
about
were.
that.
I think you were. It was
I
wild.
forgot about that. I don't remember the rest of it either. That sucks. Yeah, that was a great story. Anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna go with my injured ass to bed.
Alrighty.
And I need to go. I need to go scrub my hands. My hands are covered in blood from all the bleeding I did earlier. They're all like red stained.
Have they been covered the whole time, or did they start rebleeding?
No, they've been like this the whole time.
So you've been sitting there all night with bloody heads chatting.
Yeah, I washed. Well, I washed them once.
See, this is when I
I
say self care. This guy.
I washed them once when I first came in before I even got in the stream. I washed them like really thoroughly with soap, but it didn't get it all off. I mean, it's not. I'm exaggerating. It's not nearly as bad as it sounds.
Oh, okay.
It just like there's just like little spots because it was still bleeding a little bit at the time. It stopped bleeding now, so they're just like little spots from like the remaining bleeding that it was doing. But I had like a piece of tissue, wrapped around it, to keep it down. But like the tissue fell off just now, and it's just like gross looking. So I just
definitely go take care of that and get some rest. And
yeah, I've got some alcohol and everything. I'm gonna pour on it for disinfectant and everything. And it's gonna hurt like hell. I hate that. Isn't like, is there anything like, I don't know, that you like? I have like I even though I know it's not gonna hurt that bad, but I dread pouring like hydrogen peroxide or alcohol in a wound, like more than shots.
That's
more
what
than
I
needles.
use. That's the first thing I would use is hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, I know, but like it just like, but it's like just like the moment before I put it on there, I do it. I've done it many times. The moment before I put it is like it's like the deepest.
You can do all
dread.
this so you can fall and break teeth and ribs and stick a drill through your hand and everything, but you can't pour peroxide.
It's just the moment before I said I do it. I still do it, but the moment before I put the peroxide on there, I get this intense fear of like what it's gonna
get over it. Just do it.
I know. Well, okay. One of the reasons why is because once I had like this, like I had like this itchy kind of, I don't know, it's itchy welt on my foot, or for some reason, I don't know what it was. It was like some sort of like rash.
Is that the one? Are you the one that had the infected peroxide?
No.
Oh, that was someone else. Okay,
that was someone else.
The second peroxide story this week. Go ahead.
This is something that happened when I was like 16. Like I don't know. I'd been like I had shoes that had rubbed like a blister on the top of my foot, and the blister had broken and stuff like that. And I was like, oh crap, I need to rinse this off with peroxide, And I put the peroxide on there, and it didn't just like burn. It literally burned worse than fire. It hurt so bad, and it didn't just bubble, but it felt like acid on my foot, and I still have a scar from it to this day. Like there's still a scar on my foot.
But has that happened since, when you've used it on cuts and stuff?
No, it's just like, it's just a trauma response.
Knowing that should make it even easier to ignore.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah. It doesn't, but but you would think that would
So
make a
you
lot of
know,
sense.
if you pour it on your hands, it's not going to burn and sear your hands.
No, and I'm about to go do it. I have peroxide like literally sitting here right here next to me, and I'm about to go put peroxide on my finger and on my
Sure,
hand
it's
where
like
my
fresh peroxide. Because someone told me a story this week about some peroxide they used, and it was old and it had been sitting out. It was infected, and the peroxide is what actually made the wound worse because it poured that infection into the wound.
Ooh, that's terrible. No, I actually just bought this peroxide about I don't know 3-4 weeks ago. So yeah, peroxide is one of those things that's for whatever reason it's still super cheap. You can get like a whole bottle
Oh,
of
I know.
peroxide for like 86 cents. Yeah. Yep. So you have it right there next to you.
The large size. Yes.
And do you know why peroxide bottles are brown like that?
No.
Because peroxide, if it was in a clear bottle like alcohol is, peroxide will lose its potency if it is attached.
Oh, so they have to keep it opaque.
It has to be opaque because
Is there a reason it's brown, or
that's the reason it's brown. Yeah.
does it have to be brown, or it could be any
I don't
color?
know. I think it could be black. I've seen black ones before too, but it has to be a complete opaque color. It can't let any light through. Any light that any light or air that can get into the bottle, like once it's opened, will make it lose its potency super fast, and it'll just basically be alcohol without the peroxide part. So
Debriding agent. That's what you have to go do. You have to go debride. Oral debriding agent.
oh, hello, Dr. D Head. You're is
for
watching for the sphincter. What? Is
Um,
for watching the sphincter? Wait, I don't understand.
welcome. Don't know.
We're wrapping up, but yeah, but
we're wrapping up
welcome.
anyway. But yeah,
I just didn't know. I didn't understand the question. Is for watching the sphincter. I don't know.
washing the sphincter.
Washing the sphincter. I bet.
Oh,
washing.
whoa! We don't know. We're not gonna. This is an entertainment channel, and we don't know medical stuff. I have no clue if that's what it's good for. Y'all have to check. With the
I would
doctor.
certainly, probably not.
Aren't there people that do it for bleach? I know it can bleach teeth and hair, although I've never had a lot of success using it on hair.
I've never tried it on hair.
They used to use lemon juice, though. You go in the sun with lemon juice, and it would give you little highlights.
Yeah, I don't know anything about bleaching hair except for like I got my tips my long hair when I had long hair. I got my tips bleached once, and they looked. I had Dragon Ball Z hair for like a week before like it all like came out.
That sounds
when I was like 18, but I've never even attempted to bleach my sphincter, so I don't know if that's
same here. I wish I could help you. Yeah, try Google or the AI.
It's I try to keep it clean back there, and that's about the best I can say. I just try to keep it clean, and that's all I want. That's the most interaction I want to have with that part of my body. So
I think that's the note that we will send you all out on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So let
good night, Dr. D Head, and you're our one lone viewer and commenter for right now. Wait,
and hang on though, we got 22 on Twitter. We had a steady Twitter audience all night.
Why aren't they commenting? Why don't we see it? Because I usually
comment. They StreamYard doesn't show the Twitter comments, but they have the ability to comment on Twitter. And I have Twitter open, but they never do comment. Like Twitter, because it shows it on Twitter itself, and they have a little chat box on Twitter that the Twitters can comment, but they don't ever use it.
I've seen a Twitter comment on our thing before in the StreamYard thing. I've seen a comment
once in a blue moon. I've seen maybe 2, possibly 3 the whole time I've been streaming the Twitter. And so then what I do is I go on Twitter and I respond on Twitter to that comment, but I don't know if you see the response on StreamYard.
That's weird.
But I can't respond through StreamYard. And they can't see the StreamYard
I would never go to
They're
Twitter
like a lone commenter, only interacting with themselves.
I would never go to Twitter like looking for live streams. I know
they used to have Twitter Spaces, and now they started feeding the YouTube. Like when Machine goes live, it shows up as like on the same spot that Twitter Spaces shows up. It started showing the Twitter live videos, and if they're linked to YouTube, it can send you to YouTube from Twitter,
Hmm.
or you can stay and watch it on Twitter and chat in the little chat box.
I tried to join a Twitter Space thing one time because like there was some, I don't know, I don't even know why I was on Twitter. I actually opened it and there was this guy that was claiming that he was going to he was going to prove some sort of weird thing. I can't remember, it was really dumb sounding, and I was so like bizarrely fascinated by what he was like claiming. And I clicked on the thing. I didn't even realize it, like how like it made you like part of like the thing. Like it was kind of like being part of the panel kind of thing, where like everyone could see you and you couldn't see you. It was all audio, but but you had to mute yourself, otherwise you'd be heard.
Well, no, you have to ask to be a speaker. The normal default is just a listener.
Well, this one wasn't. This one was like if you joined it, you were like on the audio.
Oh, well, he
on the
might
audio
have
call.
made you a speaker.
Yeah. But I just muted myself because I didn't even know what was going on. I did, and all it was like this guy was like kept waiting around and nobody was talking and nobody was saying anything, and I stayed there for like 10 minutes and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I even like? So I finally just closed it. I don't know. That's my only experience with Twitter Spaces. I was like, this is
We
weird.
used to do a few on Twitter. They're kind of like panel verse, but the panel verse is way better.
Well, yeah, because
it's like a panel verse with just audio and just for Twitter people, like no one outside of Twitter.
It seems so antiquated. Like this is the best they can come up with for Twitter. I mean, Twitter is like
well, it was a Clubhouse competitor because Clubhouse started to take off, and like within weeks, it seems like Twitter all of a sudden had Twitter Spaces, which did the exact same thing, and then everybody stopped using Clubhouse.
Was Clubhouse audio only too?
Yeah. It was its own website.
I never once saw Clubhouse. Like actually went to the website. I heard about it.
In fact, our Twitter friends, we would meet on Twitter and have Twitter discussions, and then we would move to Clubhouse and have audio, and that's how we met outside of Twitter, was through Clubhouse. We got to know each other's voices, and then when Twitter Spaces happened, we just went back to Twitter. We didn't need Clubhouse anymore.
I don't know. Clubhouse sounds like it would be like almost like old school chat rooms where they'd just be open all the time and you could just like jump in any time and like just see who was there or something like that. That's what it sounds like. It seems like
some of them were, some of them were that way. They had different ones open when you signed on at different times, and you could just check out. They were all member created. Yeah, they were like the member created section of AOL, where members could create their own random rooms.
Yeah. I remember like netcentral.net used to be like that used to be like one of the chat places I used to go to when I was a teenager. It was like a big encyclopedia of all these different chat rooms of all different types, and it was like every single kind of topic you could imagine, no matter how minuscule. There was a chat room for it, and you go to the chat room and sometimes there'd be people there, sometimes there wouldn't be, but that was in the dial-up days. It was real basic. That's back when I was using Netscape Navigator. That's how old school I am, yo. Netscape Navigator off of AOL. Fuck this Google Chrome and Firefox bullshit. We use Netscape Navigator like a boss.
Yeah, and AOL would give you, it wasn't like the real internet. It was they would download the internet to AOL and then give you the AOL version of the internet, which was like an hour or two outdated sometimes until they download the new. And it wasn't directly connected to the internet. AOL mediated it, and they downloaded the entire internet first, and then fed it to you through their servers.
It was curated. Yeah.
And then when cable modem came out and you could access the internet directly, you could see like what the real internet was. And
that's what started being writing.
You didn't need AOL anymore either.
That's what started me writing was AOL. I used to go on like the poetry groups and stuff like that and post. And I don't know, one night I decided I was like, I could write poetry, and like I started writing, like I wrote some random poems and stuff, and like people thought they were good, and it made me, and that's what got me interested in writing, really.
Oh.
It was like the little ego boost I got from people thinking that my shitty little poems were good.
Well, good.
That's
probably important for artists and writers.
Not even think the fact that probably they were mostly 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds, like me, because I was at the age I was. But I had 3 different times. I had one of my poems was featured on the front page of AOL 3 different times.
Oh, wow, that is kind of a big deal.
I guess. I mean, nobody remembers it now, but I mean, at the time, it was a big deal to me. I was very, very proud of it.
Yeah, I would be too. Well, there you go.
It's what convinced me that maybe I had talent enough to like develop it into something.
Do you still believe that after tonight?
No, I do. One of the only things I have like full confidence in my life, outside of like my love for my kids and stuff like that, is that I know that even if my writing, even like this particular script, it might be a little antiquated, this and that. I know that I am a good writer. I have the ability to. I at least have the ability to write really well. I know I have a good brain for it. I know I find unique angles for things, and I know that like it's one thing. It's like the only thing I have true confidence in myself in the fact that I know that if I really sit down and focus and really try to write something like that I care about, that I can write something special. But it's just hard for me to get the motivation like I used to. But
Okay.
anyway, well, it is almost 5 in the morning, so I will see you in a few hours for the show.
Okay, I'll see you. I'll see you
See
then.
you
We're
then.
doing our normal thing tomorrow or today, whatever time it is for you. And
Yep.
we'll see you then.
All right, 2 p.m. See ya. Bye.
All right, that was our exciting extravaganza for tonight. And we will be back tomorrow at our usual time, 2 p.m. Central. Like and subscribe on YouTube. That's the best way to get. We're live every day, 7 days a week at 2 p.m. But then we do evening streams, more or less regularly every day or other day when we can, and those end up being at random times. So if you subscribe, you'll get the notifications for our evening streams as well. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Check us out tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central in about 9 hours. And we will see you then. Alrighty. Take care. Here, go out with the antlers.